Yeah, I'm ready. Just let it drop.
Fix that shit. All up in my face, about to nip that shit. Factory rims, nigga, nip that shit. It's all about chrome when you whip that shit.
All right. It's your boy, JS Wanna Supply at VVCRadio.com. Aries Lounge, we back in the building for that one-on-one special moment. It's been a while. Corona trying to fuck the game up, but I will not allow it to happen. I'm putting it together, man, the best way I know how. I'm honored and privileged and excited today to have an artist whom he in my world, he came out of nowhere. Music was banging, you know what I'm saying? I think the first time I heard one of your records was late at night, coming out the club drunk.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Listening to Strictly Hip Hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 88.9. You
Right.
know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, this a Baltimore nigga? That's
Yeah.
always my like, oh shit, another ill. Yo,
Right.
this guy's style, distinctive and different. Whereas Tim might have had a certain vibe, and LMS, you just had a whole flow pattern that was completely different. The choice of production was different. You know what I'm saying? And it was just unique and dope. Had a little bit of a New York twinge to it.
Right.
But I got some questions about that. Hopefully we can get into that.
Yeah.
But yo, I got Cooli Hi in the building, brother. How you
Man,
doing?
appreciate you.
Yo, thank you for coming in.
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate you taking the time and coming bang with me in person, in the flesh.
Yeah.
That means a lot. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So, number one question, how are you doing as a man?
I'm hanging in there, man, day by day. Like my cousin Fat say, I'm holding on both hands.
That's a
what I'm saying?
fact.
Holding on both hands on the wheel. You know, everything is good.
That's what's
what
up.
I'm
That's a
Yeah.
blessing. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
All right, you born and raised in Baltimore?
Born and raised in West Side of Baltimore.
So
Bright
West
Street.
Side nigga. I told you, a fresh
Yeah.
nigga. Look how fresh he is.
Yeah.
West Side niggas is the fresh, flyest niggas, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Shout out to all my West Side. Shout out to Scooter, rest in peace. West Side niggas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
So, West Side of Baltimore, born and raised.
Mm-hmm.
When was the first time you interacted with music on a conscious level as a child before you can turn it dial? Like, what records were you hearing? What was predominant in the household?
Wow. I guess, well, back in the day, you know what I'm saying, when I was coming up, like I said, I came up on Brighton Street, Grunquist Apartments, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, my mother, she was in the gospel a lot, you know what I'm saying? So she played a lot of Shirley Caesar, Mahalia Jackson, all that kind of stuff. She was real spiritual with the gospel, you know what I'm saying? So that was the initial start of feeling emotions out of songs, out of gospel music. You know what I'm saying? Now, after that, you know, as I got a little older, the spark was Crush Groove. Crush Groove took me over the top, you know what I'm saying? When I went to the movies, me and my two cousins, we went to go see Crush Groove. And
That's the early 80s, sir.
yeah.
You going to the movie theater at
You know what I'm
Wait a
saying?
minute, what movie theater was you going to?
I have no idea. Probably Ricestown Plaza, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Something
okay,
about right, you know what I
okay.
mean? And
I forgot they did have a theater up there.
they had a theater up there.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
okay. And was it inside of the mall the same way the one out security was?
Probably so.
Yeah,
Because I was
yeah.
a kid. I was maybe like 10, 11 years old. I don't even know why
Yeah.
my mother even let me go to the movies that young by myself.
Yo.
But you know how I was back
Yo,
then.
man, when we was kids, our parents just didn't want us in their face.
Right. Just go.
Yo, just go. Go outside.
saying?
We'll just be back before the sun comes
Right.
completely down. That's pretty
You
much.
just out there, you know what I'm saying? So I went to see Crush Groove, and when I saw Run do that scene when he was like, "This is my house," right then and there it was over for me. I just knew, like, yo, this is what I want to do. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
crazy.
Crush
So
Groove
at that age though, were you able to make your own purchases as far as music? So like, was your parents letting you come home with the NWA tape or was they letting you come home with the Run DMC joint?
Nah, see what I did. I think the first record that I probably bought. Yeah, I did buy Raising Hell. I bought Raising Hell. I don't remember buying King of Rock.
Right.
My homeboy Stanfield. He was like somebody that had played a big part in my music upcoming. He had the King of Rocks and the Raising Hells and all that kind of stuff. My mother did let me get Raising Hell.
Gotcha.
You know
It was
what
a
I'm saying?
tape or was it a vinyl?
It was actually the vinyl. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all had a record player in the
Yeah,
crib?
we had a record player. We had a record player. Yeah, we had a
See,
record player.
the problem I have with the record player is normally in a black household, there's one record player,
Right.
and it's hooked up to the big gigantic system.
Yeah.
So normally, like, we had one of those in my family house, and
Right.
and it was nothing but, you know, Funkadelics, because that was my dad thing.
Right.
So I never got a chance to really rock my records until I bought my tapes.
Oh, I
Because
got
that's
what
you
you're
can
saying.
have
Yeah,
your
you
little
go in
tape
your-
player,
yeah,
you
your
go in your
room,
room,
right, and do
you
your
know what I'm
thing.
saying, rock out, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it seemed like your peoples was letting you rock off your records.
Well, It depends on the timing. You see what I'm saying? So I had to catch the right timing. So I had my Raising Hell album, but I could only play it when, of course, my mother wasn't playing her Shirley Caesars and all that. And then when she chilled off of that, she was on the Teddy Pendergrass, the Patti LaBelle's, all that kind of stuff, all that soul good music. You know what I'm saying? And that played a part on how I write music still to this day, because that was music that you could feel.
That's
you know
a fact.
what I'm saying? You know, it was timeless music. You can play it then and you can play it now. It's still going to do the same thing to you. You know what I'm saying?
I 1000% agree. I think it was such a transitional period, you know what I mean, when synthesizers became a huge part of music production.
Right.
And like, the black producers and the black artists really took that and went to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just like, because we just saw the verses, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
with Gladys
right.
Knight
With
and Patti
Patti
LaBelle.
right.
And I'm just like, when you listen to how they went back on, like they took it back to the 60s, but when they hit that 80s with that synthesized sound, it was just another vibe, yo.
Right,
like from the party records to them soulful ballads, man. Like you said, I think you and I connect with it because that was the time when we started. I tell people, like, your musical influences play more to when the first time you really internalized it. You could have been a baby, you could have heard it, but you didn't internalize it.
Exactly.
But when you hit 12, 13, those records really start meaning something to you.
Right.
Even if it's the passive records that you was annoyed of that your parents played, you don't end up playing those when you get older.
Exactly.
Because I listen to, I was never in my 20s listening to no Gladys Knight. But now, I end up playing it all of the time. Because it reminds me of the running around the house as a kid and the family coming around playing cards and smoking cigarettes and eating crabs and all that. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So, all right, your first hip-hop experience is Run DMC. That's fire. So, let me ask you this. When you dealing with, because in that time, you had Paris that came out. You had Public Enemy. But then you had the complete other side with the Kid and Play and, you know what I'm saying, MC Hammer and Kwame's and stuff like that. So, like, did it mean something to you? Did you gravitate to one side more than the other? Was it more like, I like this serious hip hop, or were you kind of enjoying it all as one big gumbo?
I would say I was enjoying it all. You know, I like, for example, like Run DMC was everything to me. You know what I'm saying? And I was more focused. It's crazy because you would think Run was the star. Everybody was gravitate to Run. I gravitated to DMC because I felt like he was more who I was. Like, I wasn't really a standout guy. You know, Run was cocky, arrogant, out there like that. DMC was just solid in the background, but when it was time for his bars, he showed up. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I looked at myself. Like, I looked at myself as DMC. I actually called myself DJC. That was my little rap name back when I was a kid. It was supposed to be my initials. You know what I'm saying? Dwayne Jones. My father's last name was Carter. I don't have my father's last name. I have my mother's last name. So I put DJC, kind of emulating DMC. So I kind of followed his footsteps. But even when the Kid and Plays and the Kwame's, I never really like listened to it, like played the music, but I saw it, because around that time, I guess that's when videos were starting to come out. Correct. And then you saw Kid and Play getting funky with it, with the little kick step and all that kind of stuff. So, you watching it and you feeling it, but it didn't motivate me to want to be a rapper. Not knocking it, but I enjoyed it, but it wasn't my motivation. Right.
All right, so what was the first time that you felt like, all right, I want to participate in hip hop? You know what I'm saying? To go from an observer to I either want to break dance or I want to write or I want to freestyle. Like, when did that happen?
Okay, so it started over Run DMC. Okay. Then I started doing, the whole break dance and all that kind of stuff when I think what was it? Breaking and Beat Street and all that was like everybody was doing. On Brighton Street. You know what I'm saying?
Grove?
Yeah, that's it.
In the hood?
Yeah, we doing. I was in went to Belmont Elementary 217 down there on Elamont, and we used to go to the little nursing homes to do little shows. And you do pop lock for the old people and all that kind of stuff. Do that. So that was my initial start. But when I really started taking it like seriously, it was like when I was in college. So when I went to college, I went to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore.
Gotcha.
So when I went down there, I was a pretty chill dude, right? And I got all this in my book. I got a book coming out called Almost Famous. But I was a pretty chill dude all through high school. So when I went to college, I really didn't want that chill persona to be with me. I wanted something to stand out about me. But I knew who I was, and I was cool with who I was, but I knew I had to do some sort of it was crazy. I was kind of marketing myself, but not even knowing I was doing it.
Right.
So I said to myself, when I go to University of Maryland Eastern Shore as a freshman, nobody don't know me down there. I'm getting a clean slate. I said, nobody knows me.
Who thinks about that?
Right. You know what I'm saying? You know what
I get a fresh start.
I get a fresh
I would have
start.
never thought about it.
Nobody knows me. I'm coming from back on West Baltimore. I said, I'm not a standout guy. I said, so what I want to do is I want to give myself a name, whereas when people hear it, it sticks just like that.
Right.
So I don't have to do a lot. My name will do it all for me. So I sat down. I really had a book. I had a little composition, black and white book, and I wrote down all these little nicknames. And I was saying to myself, what would stand out?
Right.
And
Poochie or murder, death, kill, homicide. Like,
right.
Which
but
one
I
of
didn't
these
want
would
nothing
work?
crazy, you know what I'm
Gosh.
saying? So I'm looking at TV, and a Kool-Aid commercial come on. You know, the picture with the man, little red guy with the Kool-Aid guy.
Right, bust through the bricks and
All that, right. So I said, you know what? I'm going to roll with Kool-Aid. So when I go to Eastern Shore, my name is Dwayne. Around my way, they call me Wayne on Brighton Street. Nobody know nothing about no Cooli Hi, none of that, right? So when I go to Eastern Shore, first person, yo, what's your name? I said, Kool-Aid. They like, same thing you just did, right? Kool-Aid. Damn, why they call you Kool-Aid? I don't know. It just stuck with me. But right then and there, I never had to tell you my name again. You're going to remember that off the break.
Top.
Yo, that's the dude they call Kool-Aid. Girls, what's your name? Kool-Aid. Ooh, what flavor? I'm playing with it now, Black Cherry. You know what I mean? Fucking around with him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So my name is sticking immediately, and I don't even have to do nothing. That's the guy they call Kool-Aid. That's the guy Kool-Aid. Why they call you Kool-Aid? It was just sparking a whole lot of talk all over campus. Something I totally made up.
That's genius.
Totally made up.
Never
Because
thought about that.
It covered up my shyness at the time. It covered up my insecurities at the time. It covered up my just chill, laid back spirit. I didn't have to do a lot. So as soon as I told you my name, it already sparked interest. Why Kool-Aid? What's Kool-Aid? So that's what started it. And when I started calling myself Kool-Aid, my name got to ringing all around campus just because of my name. And what happened was I did a talent show. I was rapping in high school, but I was kind of too shy. I went to Carver. You know what I mean? So I was too shy to really do a show at Carver. But when I got to Eastern Shore, shit, nobody don't know me down here. If I bomb, I bomb.
That's a fact.
I'm going to do it. So I started doing shows down Eastern Shore, calling myself Kool-Aid. So with the name itself and what I was bringing at the shows, I just started getting notoriety all over campus. And then before you know it, Kool-Aid is just like the guy Kool-Aid that rap. And I was known all over campus as the guy that rap.
So what was the content of the music? I mean, what was the content on your raps at the time?
Now, see, this is crazy. Okay, so at the time, it was just normal freestyle, right? And I learned at an early age that it was difference between making a rap and a song.
Okay, that's a fact.
You see what I'm saying? So I remember one time, I always study, like even before I came here, before I came to your show, I watched a lot of your content so I can know
what
how you move. You see what I'm saying? That's just how you should.
That's common sense.
Right,
That's
right,
what
exactly.
Smart people should do.
Right, right.
You should do your research.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So what I would do is I would go to other talent shows, and I'll never forget it was a guy named, I think his name was Shamari. He did a song called Cluster 3. And down Eastern Shore, there was these clusters of, houses where everybody lived at. And Cluster 3 was the houses where all the freshman girls lived at. And so what he did was he wrote a rap about it, but he was talking about how freakish the girl, because they were freshman girls just coming to the school in the middle of nowhere down Eastern Shore, and everybody used to come to him like just prey on him. And so he made a song about it called Cluster 3. I never forget it. And I was like, wow, that was so
That's a
ingenious.
dope idea.
Right. So
Somebody should do that right now.
yeah. So
Continue.
check this out. So what I did was, and like I always tell my sons to this day, a lot of times you don't have to create brand new things. You can take something and just make it better.
That's a fact.
Put a twist to it. You don't have to come up with nothing new. Grab something that's already out and make it better. And you can come up that way. So when I heard him do Cluster 3, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it on a larger scale, because everybody down Eastern Shore was kind of like creeping, like, this person and that person might be dating, but they don't want nobody to know it. So they don't even speak to each other walking in the yard or in a calf or, in a class. So everybody was doing it. It was a big thing. So I said, you know what? I'm going to put it out there. I'm not going to say nobody's name, but I'm going to be very, very, vivid. I'm gonna be very,
Descriptive
on detail.
about- right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna talk about it so everybody feels it. And I wrote a song called the DL, keeping it on a down low. And I use I was used to hearing. I used the Isley Brothers "Groove with You" instrumental, that nice slow, because I used to love all that R&B stuff, but I used to like to rap to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I used the Isley Brothers groove thing, and I wrote a song called the DL. And when I did that at a homecoming show, it changed my life. I mean, the whole school went nuts because I hit so many detailed points. And when I did that, that told me, fuck all that. I mean, that's cool to do all the I'm this, I'm that, I'm not, the metaphors and all that. But if I can relate to you, if you're going through something in your life, like when you went to work today and, you stand on the bus stop, the bus went by you and it splashed the water on you. If I can say that in a witty way and tie that into you, it's going to stick with you forever.
It's going to everything. Right. That's a fact.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
That taught me right then and there that it's cool to do the whole freestyles and I'm this and I'm that raps, but when you want something to stick and live forever, tie it into some type of human emotion, and that song will live forever.
Yo, you learned so much early.
Yeah.
Yo, you picked up on a lot of stuff early. I don't know where the hell you got that from, bro. Cause I got niggas in their 30s now. I got these young niggas. I'll be like, yo, don't just be writing raps about nothing.
Right.
Cause it's like I don't wanna hear it. It gets boring after a while, especially when you have millions of artists doing the same thing. But if you can relate to me or write something that makes me think, or you tell me a story, it's gonna make me more inclined to want to hear what you have to say.
Exactly.
It just gets, it's just, yeah. So yeah, you learn early. So when you say you made the beat, how? We ain't talking about 2010, 2015.
Yeah.
We talking about the 90s, probably late 80s, early 90s. I don't know when you went to school, but
Right. 90. We talking 90. This was around 90. I got out of high school 91. We talking about 93ish.
okay. So 93 is even worse.
Yeah.
So like most studios, 90% of the studios, reel to reels.
Right.
The production equipment probably were ASR 10s. It might have been an earlier version of MPC at the time, but we're talking about equipment that was $2,000 and $3,000. Like, so how were you producing the beats?
We wasn't. See, what we did back then, you had to have a DJ.
Right.
And so we had a guy down, two big DJs down the school at the time. One guy named was Corey Prelude. We call him Mo. Shout outs to Mo. And I forgot the other guy's name. McKnight, Andre McKnight, I think that was his name. But anyway, what they would do is they had like a maybe one of them. I'm not too fond on the production side, but they had they had their turntables and they would sample the little part of the Groove with You, just the instrumental, sample it and just loop it.
And then you loop it over and over.
Loop it,
I had one of those. Okay.
Yeah.
DJ sampling, and then you would just
I never recorded the song. Them songs that I did on those talent shows were never recorded. They were just live songs that I did on stage.
Got you. So they looped it on the tape, and then you took the tape to the joint, and then you
Play
went
this.
hard, and then everybody fell in love.
Yeah.
All right, that's what's up.
That's
That's
how
what's
we
up.
do it
And
there.
that was the night he had his first threesome. No, I'm just playing. There was a lot of DL information going on. Different type of DL. So anyway, all right. So after that, you come off stage, you have this epiphany. What's the next step?
Next step, I dropped out of college. but see, this is
That's
happened.
what you're supposed to do.
Right.
I know I could be famous. I don't need to be here anymore.
Yeah. So what happened was, and that's one of my regrets. But what I did was I got a lot of notoriety. Like that song took me to a whole nother level on my college campus.
Right.
At the same time that was going on, I had a homeboy back home named Stanfield. He was from Brighton Street as well. He was starting he was always, I grew up with him. He was always that guy that was like, he was the puffy of the block. He always thought beyond everything. You always got that one guy that's just out there with his thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was that. And so he was home at Coppin at the time. He was like, yo, I'm starting this record label. I want you to be the first artist on my label. So I'm like, all right, cool. So what actually happened was that semester after I did that talent show, I had all that notoriety on campus. I came home and, on Brighton Street and on Rosedale, shout out to all my homies down there, got into some things that I shouldn't have really been getting into, you know. And so I was doing some things and I had a lot of money at the time. Well, I thought was a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? And so the dumbness, the naiveness in me was I went and I bought a brand new car off the lot payments and everything.
Yeah, Baltimore. Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Payments and everything, right? So bought a brand new car and had all this money stacked up. So long story short, went back down Eastern Shore. But now I can't be home to do what I'm doing to get the money because I'm down Eastern Shore now.
Now the money's dwindling.
The money's dwindling. So once the money dwindled, and I was so used to the money now, I'm like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm not staying down here. You know, I had that notoriety. My homeboy wanted me to do the record label. He back at home. The money back at home. I'm out.
Excuse me, the car and the car payment.
Right, and the car
Plus
payment
the
back home. And the insurance, you know what I'm saying?
Plus all of the wonderful women that comes with having a
Exactly,
brand
you know
new
what I'm
car and being that young.
Right.
Yeah,
So I
I'm
said-
not giving that up.
I said, I'm going to transfer to copping so I can kind of do everything. I can do my thing. I can make my money. I can do everything is what I need to be. I need to be back in Baltimore. I can't
At
be
least
on
you
this
tried.
phone.
You tried it.
Right.
You tried it.
But
All
it
right.
was my senior year. It was-
Really?
Yeah, I was 22 credits shy. I mean, the counselors, whatever they were at down Eastern Shore, they was like, "Are you sure you want to leave your senior year one more semester?"
I would have just thugged it out.
I know.
You done been
I was
through 3 years. You
know,
only got 1 year
I'm
left?
thinking, the hell with the school shit. You know what I'm saying? You know,
That's a
because
fact.
I felt like my homeboy had the remedy on that music stuff. My head was already big because all this notoriety I got off that DL song and all the things I was doing, and I was getting money at home.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm out of here. I
Yeah.
can get that degree at copying. That's what I was thinking. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, they just mailing it up there. I'm just gonna pick it up.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I transferred to copping, and lo and behold, you know, once you home, you distracted. I'm still doing the whole money thing, and whoop whoop whoop. And before you know it, deuces to copping. You know what I'm saying? Then from there, that's how the ball started. Me and my homeboy, I invested a lot of my money because he didn't really have the money. He had the mind, but he didn't have the money. I had the money. So I gave the money to get the record label started. It was called the Martin Records. And we got the record label started. You know how it is, the local stuff. And actually that's going to lead to how I got to the whole Cisco thing and all that later on. You know, I'm sure you asked me about that. But yeah, that's how it all started. That's how I got back home and started grinding back here in Baltimore.
So I'm sitting here with you. Short time sitting with you. You don't seem to be the Brighton Street type nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like it seemed like
right.
I'm a Pop the Grove nigga.
Okay,
you know what I'm
gotcha,
saying?
gotcha.
So
Right,
I was
right,
down
right.
1729. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like
right.
you was up the street.
Yeah.
But you and I both. I'm not a Pop the Grove nigga. I
Right,
was there,
right.
but my mama said if you come out there push, I'm whipping your ass. Like
Right,
so
right,
I
right,
stayed
right.
and I went to school. I finished. How is it you having so much up here? And I mean, and I understand because the money is definitely the thing. But like, do you move differently? How do you view the people around you? Like, and how does that affect your decision making? Like, you know what I mean? Because in this time period that you're talking about, it's probably one of the most violent time periods in Baltimore's history.
Right.
Because the drugs, the money, so much is going on. People are fighting over blocks.
Right.
And then you're involved, even if you're not day to day involved, the fact that you're living in that area.
Right.
And then Coppin being right in the middle of all of that. Like, how do you navigate that and keep your focus? You know what I mean?
Well, I'll say this. When I was on Brighton Street, keep in mind, that was like my childhood coming up. My mother moved from Brighton Street when maybe 92. So I haven't lived around there since 92.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So, but the difference was my father, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? My dad was, my father had me when he was 43 years old.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying? So by the time I'm a teenager, he's so seasoned. And I even tell my wife this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have older brothers and sisters that I didn't grow up with. They're kind of almost old enough to be my mother and father. They got me like about 15, 16 years. The same father they had is a different father I had. Because the father they got was the young and dumb father. You know what I'm saying? If he was young and dumb, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But the father I got was more seasoned. He went through all the mistakes. He knew what to do, what not to do, all that, all the mistakes that, or the good stuff that he did with my older brothers and sisters.
Correct.
So by the time I come, when he's 43 and I'm born, so you figure when I'm 10, he's 53. So he has so much wisdom, so much know-how. He just poured it into me all the time. And of course, my rules were very strict. I couldn't go here, couldn't go there, couldn't go all the way up to Bloomingdale. You know what I'm saying? You don't go all the way
Smart
up there.
guy.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So he kept a leash on me, and that was the difference. I truly believe that was the difference between me being like what you're saying. Like
Right.
I don't come off as a Bright Street guy because I was
Right.
born and raised there, but it's a difference. You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
Even if you look at the imagery for like the album cover, the dress code, all of that,
Right.
it doesn't give off the same energy as you would see of even in that time period. If you see how Tim Tree's dressed or how like LMS dressed or whatever, like
Right.
you know what I mean. It was just you were very clean cut. To me, I always make this joke. You exemplify what a fly West Side nigga was,
Yeah,
but it was more like, all right, well, I actually graduated high school, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's that
yeah, yeah.
cleaner. There's just a whole cleaner vibe to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think that was kind of amazing. You know, considering you're telling me the blocks and the area you coming from, like yo,
Right.
them type niggas wasn't around there. Like
Here's a
it was serious around there. It was
Yeah,
a lot
real
of
serious.
shit going
Now
on.
it's totally different around there now. Like when I go around now, I may recognize maybe one or two cats around there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I still rep it in my songs because that's my home.
Right.
Like when I dream at night, you know, sometimes you know, like they say when you dream, you know, your mind takes you somewhere.
Correct.
I'm always in that apartment, 3329 Brighton Street, apartment B4. That's where I lived at all my childhood in that
Gotcha.
apartment building.
It makes a difference, bro.
Yeah, and here's a fun fact about my father. All right, so my father's name was George Carter, right?
Right.
My father had maybe a niece or younger cousin. I don't know it too well, but I'm gonna get to the point. She married a guy. The guy was a screenplay writer, right? The screenplay writer was working on a movie. He used to come with my father. My father came up in Murphy Homes. You know what I'm saying? So my father used to sit down with this guy, and I don't know his name, but you can Google it. It all lines up. He used to sit down with this guy and tell him all these stories about Murphy Homes, what was going on this, what was going on that. You know, all the little nicks and crannies. So my father was a good, detailed talker, and he was very good with, you know, specifics and details.
Gotcha.
Told this screenplay writer all this stuff. Lo and behold, make a long story short, the screenplay writer goes off and writes a movie, sells the movie, partners with somebody, and they put the movie out, and the movie comes out and it blows. The screenplay writer, as a tribute to my father, said, you know what? I'm going to name a building in this movie after you. He called the movie The Carter.
Oh shit.
New Jack City.
God damn.
New Jack City. If you
That's
look up,
crazy.
if you look up the screenplay writer, I forgot his name because he's married to one of my cousins or something on my father's side. He's from Baltimore. The screenplay writer. And of course, Mario Van Peebles is not, but
Right.
the screenplay writer's from Baltimore, and he got a lot of that detail
That's
from my
deep,
dad.
yo. Congratulations, bro.
Yeah,
That's a story.
Right.
That's
right.
deep.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
deep. Okay, so
tough.
you let's get back into the storyline because
Right.
I love the story. The story is dope. So
Right.
you drop out of college.
Right.
You dipping deeper into the streets because now you not only maintaining your lifestyle, but now you're investing in your dream. And once again, we're still at 97, maybe 98 at this point.
Yeah.
Studio equipment is crazy expensive.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yo, just print up 100 CDs might cost you $500-$600, maybe $1,000 at this
Right.
time period. So what are you guys doing? Like, what's the activities going on? Are you like going around battling, or are you just recording in the studio? Are you doing the ciphers? Like, what's your lifestyle at this point?
Not at that time. See, like the guy I told you about, his name was Stanfield. This dude was a genius. You know, I haven't spoken to him in years. Shout out to Derek Stanfield. But he was a genius then. I still believe he's a genius now. So he always thought out the box and beyond. So what we would do was we would go to a producer, one of the producers at the time. His name was DBA. He lived up Yale Heights. Never forget him. We would buy all these beats from him, wholesale. Just buy the beats. Once we got the beats, Stanfield believed at that time there was no need to record in Baltimore. There's nobody in Baltimore to hear that can help us. So we need to leave. So what he would do is he would book studio sessions in Unique Studios. What is that? D&D, whatever.
in New York.
All in New York. We only recorded in New York. And I never understood why he would do like, no, we can just go to the studio on York Road. You know what I mean? It was somewhere. He was like, nah, because there's nobody here that can help us. We need to be around people, rub elbows and bump out, rub shoulders
with the industry,
with the people that's doing it for real. So no matter how much it costs, some 2-inch tapes was very expensive back then.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But we
Facts.
would save up all our coins, buy this stuff, and take these trips and record there. So we didn't record a lot because we had to take these trips to do it. And we would even go to Atlanta sometimes, and we recorded at Bobby Brown's studio, Dallas Austin studio. Anybody who was doing something, we would record at their studios just so our names and our faces can be familiar with what was going on.
Word.
And that was working for us. And
Your
so,
guy is smart as shit.
yeah, he was, and this was
Super
early. This was early. This was maybe 90. My son wasn't even born yet, so we're talking about 95-ish. You know.
So when you're doing those sessions, how long are the sessions? And are you the type where you gonna go in and lay down 3-4 songs in one session, or
No. I mean, honest with you, I was trash back then. You know what I'm saying?
yo, I respect you
I
for
was
that.
trash back
I
then.
respect you for that being real.
I'm gonna tell you what I was. I was a good writer, but my delivery wasn't on point yet.
Got you.
My delivery, I didn't know how to fit a lot of. I did a lot of trying to force words and syllables into little pockets of beats. I didn't really know how to ride the beat, because your voice, and I hope people listening to, that's ever writing, I should be able to hum your verse without knowing your words. Your voice should be another instrument along with the words. Lil Wayne is perfect with it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
But at that time I was just too trying to, and my delivery wasn't right.
And a lot of it comes also into confidence and comfortability.
Right.
Because once you comfortable and you confident, you'll make it work. If you
yeah,
miss a
yeah.
mark, you can make it up
Right.
in another space, because it's the
can find
concept
the
of
pockets.
owning. Yeah,
You
you'll
can find
find a
the
pocket,
pockets.
so you'll
Right.
own the track.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And when you're first in the beginning, and the fact that in your early stages, you in these big ass studios.
Yeah.
You trying to get it down, and then fucking a famous nigga walk by. And
Right.
it's intimidating as fuck.
And then the time was tight because we had a whole full roster. We
Gotcha.
had about 7 acts. Everybody trying to record a song, and
Wow.
so because we only up there for that one day, so
Right.
you better get it and get it right. It wasn't a whole lot of punching and going
one
on.
take Johnny out this
you
joint.
had to, exactly.
golly.
You had to take out you can get it.
So was you practicing before you get to the studio? Is you really taking the time, or was you I'm gonna get it when I get
I
there?
thought I was, but again, hindsight is 2020. When I look back, a lot of times when I used to write raps, I used to write them in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I put them on paper, but I would say it in my head. And what you got to realize, when you saying a rap in your head and saying it out loud out of your mouth, it's two totally different things,
That's a
because
fact.
it's breathing involved when you're saying it out your mouth, especially when you're enunciating your words
Right.
loud and hard. You have to breathe and get those words, and you have to open your mouth wide to get those syllables and
That's
make
correct.
sure nothing's all clammed up.
And then rapping it on a beat is a whole nother thing as
Exactly.
well. So there's a lot involved to it.
So, yeah. So
Just not squaring up good, man. It's starting to look bleak early.
Right.
It's bleak. So, all right, how long did this go on for? We y'all gather up money, take a trip, gather up money, take it. How long did this process go on?
It went on for maybe let's see. It's all stopped, I would say, roughly around 96. So maybe a year or two.
Okay.
Maybe
And what
3.
came out of that? Was there enough music that came out of it to put something out?
Well, what happened was I was a solo artist at the time.
Right.
Calling myself, Kool-Aid at the time. And
That was a bad idea.
right, exactly.
Because if Kool-Aid had found out,
Right, right. So
they would have smashed you like they smashed that wall.
right. You know what I'm saying? So I was calling myself Kool-Aid at the time, and I was solo. But like I said, we had a roster. So it was a group, a 2-man group on our roster called Shock Trauma. They was from Park Heights. We actually had an audition. They came out the audition, and me and my guy, the guy Stanford I was telling you about, we listened to all these groups, and we picked them 2. These are the ones we want to sign. We signed them, and me and the 2 guys became close. And they're the ones that actually really, truly introduced me to hip-hop. Because before then, I was a writer. I wrote songs
Gotcha.
and write them in my head, only say them in the studio, but you would never catch me freestyling or battling or doing nothing hip-hop-ish, unless I was on the stage.
Gotcha.
Outside of a stage, that wasn't happening.
It wasn't happening.
So his name, the 2 guys' name, one name was Mr. Butch and the other name was Mouse. They were hip-hop in its purest form. Everywhere they went, if a beat came on, back then there was no instrumental, so Black Moon came on, who got the props, we rapped over them. While they're rapping, while the song is playing, we're just hearing the beat.
Right.
And we're just rapping over top of them. So they freestyled and rapped so much. And being as though I was with them and I was the solo, I had to, either sink or swim.
Facts.
And so I started rapping with them. And so
Sinking a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Sinking a lot. And so I got the hang. I'm like, oh, all right. And before you know it, every time we got together, the lights go off, boom, the blunts get lit, boom. And now the beat's on, and we just in there. And during that time, that was like when Wu-Tang and Black Moon, Helter Skelter, that good, that
golden age.
Right. So everything was dark and grimy, Timberland boots and everything. So that's when I really got got to going with the hip hop, the ciphers, the battling, and all that kind of stuff. But what happened was, I hate to say it, but Stanfield got. We kind of had a discrepancy.
Okay.
Over some money. You know how it always happens. You know what I'm
young
saying?
guys,
right?
First time out, nobody knows what the fuck they doing.
So it's how they say it's my side, their side, and the truth.
Right.
So anyway, long story short, because I don't want to speak on. He's not here to defend himself. So we split. Spanfield went his way, and actually he went to New York, and it's funny. He went to New York. I'm gonna say this, and I'll get up off of him. He went to New York, and he was working for Jam Master Jay as an intern. And I'll never forget, one day I was in New York, and he was like, "Yo, come to my office, yo. I want you," because he was like show off,
Right.
Because she wanted me to see that, even though we split, because we were childhood friends. We grew up since we was babies together. So even though we wasn't doing music together, we were still friends. So he was like, "Yo, come to my office. I'm gonna show you something." So I go to the office. So it's a little tight, little small office or whatever. He in there, tapes and every little mess. He was like, "Yo, I'm working on this stuff. I want you to meet this artist I'm working with." Like, who you working with? And the dude come through, and he was like, "Yo, this my man from back home, Kool-Aid. Yo, that's 50 Cent." And so I was like, saying to myself, like, 50 Cent? What kind of bullshit name is that? You know what I'm saying? And so
I think I might have met you. Yo, was your man Stanfield back and forth to Baltimore?
Yeah. He was short and dark skinned.
I think I met that nigga before.
You probably did.
Because years before 50 Cent Blue, and I'm talking about late 90s, I think I was my freshman year in college.
Right.
And I was working at Dimensions of Music downtown. And a short guy, black guy came in.
That's him.
And he was promoting 50 Cent.
That's him.
And
that's
he was like, "Yo, this nigga," he was like hard selling this nigga.
Was Stanfield.
He about to be the next nigga. And I'm like, yo, his name is 50 Cent. Yo, he's a half a dollar. Like, I'm just clowning. And the link is like, "No, yo, he played the CD." And I'm just like, yo. And then he had an apartment. The guy had an apartment not too far from Dimensions of Music. Was like downtown or whatever. And he had the reels on the wall and all of that. And I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga, man?
Because now around that time, that's probably when me and him wasn't dealing with each other too much. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that sounded like that was him. But yeah,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Right.
I've always wondered in my mind, who was this fucking random ass nigga to be?
He was on them, and they was tight at one time, and you probably had to get the story from him to find out what happened with that. But he was like, "Yo, this 50 Cent." But what happened was, to get back to my end of it, me and the guys I told you, the name of the group was called Shock Trauma. The two guys, Mouse and Butch, and they were rapping, I was rapping. We wasn't messing with Stanfield no more. So they was like, "Yo, you might as well come and join our group, and all three of us can be Shock Trauma."
Gotcha.
So I'm like, "All right, cool." So then us three, we're now with Shock Trauma. So we're doing all the record pools with Sean Caesar, Unruly, and all that. We're doing the little shows down Paradox.
So when y'all doing the record pools, have y'all printed vinyl or CDs or tapes?
At that time that wasn't even anything. It was more so just like talent shows. Like you know how they say the A&R from this person. You just trying to be seen, right? I got you. The winner gets a free demo and all that dumb ass shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's the bullshit.
Yeah. You pay all this money to get in the concert. Get in the contest. They walk away with the money. Y'all like, we did all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what was going on at that time. But at the time, I'm sharpening my skills because we everywhere, battling everywhere, because there's rappers everywhere, everybody in a circle, and smoke and just going at it.
Because by the time you're talking about, Chomp City Records was up and running, and they was moving backland around everywhere, bro. Everywhere I went, that nigga was there. Who else was there at that time? I think it was around the time like B Rich was kind of moving, but he was still down Eastern Shore then, so I don't think the record took off.
I'm gonna tell you who I remember and I'm sorry if I don't name everybody. That's why I don't like to name people. But who I do remember is Ant Boogie. I used to love some Ant Boogie. You know what I'm saying?
Not completely. I heard the name. I know the name, but I don't remember the face. But
yeah.
It's a lot of people.
DJ Booman was one of them. He was
Bull
one.
Man is the nigga.
Yeah, it was
Bull
him.
Man is the nigga. I actually got an interview with him.
It was 3 of them. A light-skinned guy with glasses. His name was Derek, and I think another one name was Carlos. And I'm sorry if I'm messing up the names, but I was a big fan of Ant Boogie.
Right.
But yeah, you know, it was Ant Boogie at the time. I can't remember nobody else, but that's who stood out to me. But that's what was going on at that
Right.
time.
So, all right, when did we? All right. So, what happens? At what point do we get to that things really start moving? Because now, I mean, and then wait a minute. And then my other thing is, what's your confidence like? Because you moved out of a situation. I mean, are y'all still recording, or y'all just at this point y'all just vibing as a group? Like
At this point, when we record, yeah, we were recording. We was recording at a guy named. It's funny. This story is crazy. You'll hear the full details of my book. 'Cause, you know, I don't want to talk your
no.
podcast
You
forever.
cool?
You know what I'm saying? But we hooked up with this group called Parafruit from the Bone Dice. Right.
Okay.
Now check this out. And then that's exactly what we did when we heard their name. So it was this talent show down the Baltimore Civic Center or whatever, you know, convention center, whatever. It was called the USGL. I never forget it. And Parafruit from the Bone Dice was in the talent show. Mm-hmm. And you saw them, they had on like parachute pants, you know, looked crazy, like weirdos, right? We looked at like, oh, we got to battle them. Oh, this is gonna be an easy one because I think the winner got like $500 or get to go to New York record. You know the whole little package they always give.
They always give.
Right. So I'm like, oh, we gonna kill them, man. That motherfucking beat drop. Them motherfuckers was out of here. They was like a Fugees without Lauryn Hill.
Gosh.
But they had that whole Caribbean and they can half sing, half rap, and they were just floating all over the beat and then and if lyrics was tight. I was like, God damn. But what happened was me and one of the guys, we worked together out MCI, the call center. You know, everybody had the call center working at MCI, right?
I got the job, never went for my first day.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Boy, it was hella bras out there, boy. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. But yeah, so one of the guys worked out there, and so when we lost to them in that show, I was like, yo, where y'all record at? Because that sound was crazy at the show. Mm-hmm. And they told us about this guy named Bill Pratt that lived out Woodlawn. He had like a little studio in his garage. White guy, old white guy with a long beard, you know. Only really did pop and rock music, but he bent to do hip hop for Parafruit from the Bone Dice because of that sound, that unique sound they had. So the guy went and talked to him, said, hey, you wouldn't mind recording this group called Shock Trauma? They a little grungy with it, but give him a shot. So he started recording it. So that's what we were doing our recording at.
Gotcha.
Up until that point. Yeah.
God, you always had quality sound, man. You found an old white man with a beard,
Yo.
nigga. Your shit was crispy.
Exactly. It was
I ain't
crazy.
even heard the records, but I know it was crispy.
Because we knew that was the key.
Right.
We figured like, a lot of people's song, we hear the song, we can't hear what you're saying. It's muffled. The bass too loud and all that. We was like, yo, we can get a clean sound. Mm-hmm. That's half the battle.
It makes all the difference. And it just makes you sound like you already in the industry.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It don't sound like you press record on your tape deck and, y'all
recording over something crazy. Right.
All right, so y'all... After wait a minute. So did y'all get defeated in the battle, or did y'all come out triumphant?
Probably from the dome. They dusted us. We was done. You know what I mean? That clean sound and all that harmony they had. You know what I mean? They killed us. You know what I mean?
So did you decide, yo, I need to get my vocals together. I need to start singing out this motherfucker.
You know what we decided? We decided we wanted that sound. Cause we didn't really want to go in the area there because they could.
Right.
Them niggas can really sing. They was like on some Wyclef type shit. You know what I'm saying? So we was like, we can't do that.
See, y'all, the difference is back in the day we respected niggas' areas. Niggas wasn't like, oh, they did it, so I'ma jump in it too.
No, we was like, yo, y'all can have that.
That's your thing.
We gonna come over here with us.
We just spit these bars.
Yeah, we just wanted that clean sound.
Got you. So, all right. So tell us what happens. All right. So how long did this group collective stay together?
So, and now you start getting the meat and potatoes. You know what I'm saying?
So this is where the meat and potatoes
right,
is. We ain't even got out of a 99, 2000 yet. We still in the 90s.
Exactly. We still in the 90s. So, Shock Trauma, that was our family. It was me, Mouse, Butch, and we had a silent partner, which is my best friend, a guy we call Old Man Joe.
Gotcha.
It was us four. Did everything together. Everything under the sun together. It was just us four doing our thing because we left the whole situation with the guy Stanfield with the first thing. So what happened was, I will never forget, we did a show one time, and when we was on our way home from the show, Mouse got a page. So he looked at his page, let me return this page, stopped the phone book call, get back in the car, and was like, yo, we might be beefing with some niggas at Mervo. I'm like, I'm beefing with some niggas at Mervo? What the fuck we beefing with niggas at Mervo for? They high school niggas. He was like, yo, my little cousin got into a little beef up there. Niggas was picking on him. I just want to go up there and see what's good. So I'm like, all right, cool. Just let me know when you want to go. We there. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, maybe a few days go by. Like, yo, what happened to the cousin thing? He was like, no, that's cool. You know what I mean? You know, we don't let it go or whatever. He said, but see, the thing is about my cousin sing. And sometimes people be picking with him.
Right.
Because, he sang. He said, my cousin can sing his ass off. Only thing is, that nigga be trying to sound like Jodeci all the time. So I was like, oh, all right. Ain't think nothing of it.
You just move on.
Now, fast forward a little bit. Later on, my homeboy Mouse come to us one day like, yo, my cousin, in a group, and them niggas got like a little deal on a soundtrack, and they got a little single out called Tell Me. So I was like, oh, for real? I said, I think I heard that shit on the radio. He's like, yo, yeah, that's my cousin in them. So I said, yo, which one is your cousin? So he was like, yo, I don't even know. You know what I mean? He said,
yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, he didn't know which one
Right.
was his cousin. You know what I mean? So he was like, yo, they singing. He said, I don't know who from who. So,
it was probably white labeled at the time. So
Right,
anybody
you know
want
what
no
I'm saying?
faces on no CDs and nothing.
yeah. So plus he just hearing it on the radio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then, boom, now fast forward a little more. Yo, they got a video out. Yo was like, yo, the video coming on TV. So I remember I was about, you know how they do the Drew Hill or whatever, about to come on the, the little show.
We talking about back in the day. Yeah,
whatever.
buddy.
So
they're going to present the new song. This
Exactly.
new video dropping at 3 p.m.
Right. So I'm saying to myself, like, okay, I'm about to see a visual to whoever's cousin. I said, let me see if I can guess which one his cousin is.
Right.
Because at first I was thinking, like, his cousin probably one of the little background niggas. You know what I mean? They ain't really doing, you know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking in my mind.
Man,
you know
that's
what I'm saying?
probably Jazz and Nokia or some shit like that.
So I said, I'm sitting there and I'm watching TV, and as soon as I see his cousin, I knew it was his cousin because they act the same.
Gotcha.
Like Mouse is very like in
Animated.
our group, he's all over the place, jumping up and down like he was just a firecracker all the time. So when I watched the video, I was like, yo, that gotta be your cousin right there. It gotta be. So I called him like, yo, is that shit? Yeah, he said, yo, my cousin, the one with the blonde hair. I was like, what's his name? He was like, Cisco. And that's how the story kind of gets a starting right then and there. You know what I'm saying?
So at this moment, are you like, yo, I gotta work with this nigga? Or was it like, damn, this is some crazy shit? Like,
No. At that time, groups was like a dime a dozen, especially one song, because I can't remember back then, but once in a while you have somebody come out of Baltimore with a song, a die off, a song, or the die off,
Frankie, Duke Brown,
exactly.
This
You know
will
what I'm saying?
happen, percolator, pop off.
Right, something to pop off and it'll die
Right.
down. So we didn't really put too much stock in it. We were just still doing our thing. But then all of a sudden we was like, yo, these niggas coming out with an album. Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? So then the album come, and then you got In My Bed come out. Never Make a Promise come out. And then 5 Steps come out. I said, wait a minute, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, your cousin is popping. You know what I mean? These
That
little niggas is blowing.
That album is a classic.
Right.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? So me and my homeboy Butch, we go to him like, yo, you need to holler at your cousin, see if he can put out CD in the right hand or something. But he was, Mouse is prideful. Baltimore niggas. So he was like, yo.
My best friend is first cousins with DJ Quicksilver.
You see what I'm saying?
He won't call that nigga for nothing. For nothing.
You see what I'm saying?
I understand.
Shout out to
I
Quick. That's
lived
my
that
man.
life.
That's my
Yeah.
man.
You know
what
what
I mean? But he was like, yo, fuck that shit. We can get our own situation. We good. So if he say fuck that shit, we all right, fuck it. We gonna keep on pushing. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was
Time goes by.
we still down to Paradox.
Yeah.
We still at the record pools.
Yeah.
We still, bouncing club to club, ciphers. And now Drew Hill doing songs with Babyface. What's the song when they freeze into the rocks and all that shit on the soundtrack and all that shit? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking
We're Not Making Love No
about.
More. All that shit. Now they blowing out of this world now.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this shit getting out of hand. Like, not only your cousin in the group, he the main nigga in the group.
Yeah, he's the focal point.
Yeah, we need to holler. No, yo, we good. We gonna do our thing. So what turned the wheel was finally Cisco decided I'm gonna make a rap group. Now, what happened on his side? I don't know. You gotta ask him. You know what I'm saying? But for some kind of way, the word got back that Cisco was trying to make this rap group, and of course, he was looking out for his big cousin.
Right.
So he went and he called Mouse like, yo, I want you to join my rap group. So Mouse, he a real nigga. So he was like, yo, my cousin want me to go join the rap group with him. He popping, but y'all my niggas. I don't want to go if I don't take y'all. But I need to, he wanted to get the green light from us. So me and my homeboy Bush was like, yo, fuck that. Go ahead, go with them niggas. Do your thing. Just look out for us on the back end.
Right.
And so he went, and at the time, Cisco had the dude Kid. I don't know if you remember Kid, and he had Make It Hot.
Wow.
So those were like those.
You bringing back memories.
Yeah. Now, Kid and Make It Hot. Those were Cisco's prodigies. Those was like his that's his team. That's what people don't know. And I'll get to that as the story goes on. Those were Cisco's they was his mans.
Right.
And he actually named them niggas. He gave them niggas their name.
That's crazy.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's because they wasn't. Hot was rapping. Was rapping, but wasn't really serious with it. Kid wasn't rapping at all.
Right.
But he just had the aura to look for it. So anyway, he wanted to take Mouse, this grimy Wu-Tang Timberland boot nigga, and put him with Kid and Hot, this flashy. Because at that time, I think Cameron and the Pink shit was going on and all that.
Right.
Talk about money, popping bottles, Cristal, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And he wanted to mix them three and make them a group. So,
I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of the time period. Like, where was that shiny suit and grimy at the same time?
It was right when DMX and Puffy kind of.
No. I know the time period.
Okay,
but I'm trying to think of an artist that embodied both.
Exactly.
That was kind of grimy but still fly. I'm
right.
Hove, still too fly. Like, I don't know. He actually had an idea, but I don't know. It's all in the execution. You know what I mean? You can have an idea, but if you can't execute it, but continue. Let me shut up.
Right. So what happened was that situation, for one reason or another, didn't work out. So what happened was when they were trying to make the demo or whatever, so Cisco can take it to Def Jam, because I think at the time Drew Hill was signed to Def Jam.
Yeah.
So every night Mouse would go to Cisco's house out all the way out Liberty Road, so that all of them could work on the music. So me and Bush was like, yo, you think we can come out there tonight? And Mouse used to say this every day. I don't see why not. But he would never take us, right? Shout out to my man Miles. Miles, that's my brother for life, right? So every night he would be like, I don't see why not. So Butch, real nigga, like, yo, fuck that shit. I ain't asking that nigga no more, man. Yo, it seemed like he don't want us to come out there. Me, fuck you, nigga. I'm asking that nigga every day, all day, until he take us out that motherfucker. Right. I'm not stopping. It's too close. We've been grinding all this time. Now we got access to a nigga that's right up Liberty Road. Fuck that. That's
one of the hottest artists on the planet at the time, bro. Yo, Drew Hill was at the top.
Yeah. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna ask him until he break. So I kept pushing. So finally he was like, yo, all right, come on. So me and Butch finally, yo, we going out there. So we go out that bitch, get out the Cisco house. He ain't even there because, he was on the road a lot.
Right.
So, but it was Kid and Hot there. So they was working on music. So me and Butch knew that once they heard us rap, they was going to want to fuck with us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they threw on some beats, and we got to doing what we normally do all the time. When, them lights go off, we sparking them blunts and all that, that freestyling. We ain't write nothing down. We just in there just going all off the top of the head, just showing off. Because we just really wanted to show these niggas like, yo, we are for real. You know what I'm saying? And they were so mesmerized, like, yo, these niggas nice, because they didn't really know hip hop like that.
Right.
They were just kind of coming under Cisco and the whole R&B
kind of like
thing.
maybe Mouse was leading the way for them, the same way he led the way for you.
Exactly. And so once they heard us rap like that, they wanted us out there all the time. So every time they was out there writing these raps, they'd be like, yo, can y'all come out here with us? So we were almost out there like their coaches. And so we would be out there every day just helping them, writing some of their raps for them, write a line here, write a line there, help them like, no, yo, say it like this, kind of coaching them through. And lo and behold, one day Cisco was there. So Cisco was like, yo, who is it? Because new niggas in this house. Right. So they was like, oh, yo, that's Cool and Butch. They Mouse homeboys. So he was like, oh, all right. So he spoke whatever. He kept it pushing because he was kind of in and out all the time. You know what I mean? Just gone, here, there. You didn't really see, even later on, he was like a ghost. Cisco was like in and out all the time.
Right.
So we kept doing that. Long story short, because it's a long story. Mouse wound up dwindling off because he just, Mouse is a character. Him and Cisco are just like, their mothers are actually identical twin sisters.
Interesting.
Right. Yeah, so Mouse ain't for a lot of shit, and he don't play a lot of games. And in the industry, you have to be able to take a lot of bullshit.
That's a fact.
And you got to be able to move and maneuver around it. Like,
That's a fact.
You don't have to take a lot of disrespect.
Facts.
But you have to take a whole lot of bullshit. People playing games with you, not answering the phone for you.
Right.
You know what I mean, all that dumbass shit. It can really eat at a street nigga. You know what I'm saying?
It'll eat at anybody.
Right,
but
right.
Even worse for a street nigga.
Exactly.
Because
So
cold
niggas,
is cold in the street.
Yeah, niggas ain't for it.
Yeah.
Real niggas don't be for all that. So Mouse wasn't for a lot of the bullshit. So he wound up saying, fuck it. So me and Butch stayed around. And that's how the story kind of began. So long story even shorter, me and Butch helping Kid and Hot make these songs, making this demo. Cisco still blowing and blowing and blowing and blowing and blowing, but he ain't never have his first album yet. This is still all during the Drew Hill time.
Right.
What happened was we finally got our invite.
Wait a minute. Because they did the 2 Drew Hill albums and then the solo album came.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So probably around this time, y'all are recording, but they probably completed the second album and probably had released
the first album was in the can.
Right,
and then they
right.
were kind of in the midst of recording that second album. This one, all this is going on while they recording that second Beauty and all that kind of stuff. They recording all that.
Got you. But he hasn't even gotten into the solo stuff yet.
Not at all.
Because I remember Make It Hot. Wasn't Make It Hot on hit the solo
Yes,
album?
he was.
Okay,
I got
cool.
a story about that.
Let me shut up. Go ahead. Continue your story.
So what happened was, they recorded Drew Hill recording that second album, and so me and Butch in the background being fuck boys. Well, I was a fuck boy. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Right.
I was the nigga I'm gonna get to that. Okay, so I'm gonna get to that. So what happened was eventually we helped Kid and Hot out so much we finally got what we thought we was gonna get in the beginning. This was what we were craving for. Them niggas was like, yo, you know what? Fuck it, we all should just be a group. I said to myself, like, Lord have mercy, I was waiting for this motherfucker to say this shit. You know what I mean? This is my break.
Right.
Yeah, yo, you right. We all should be a fucking group. Because what people don't know is that Kid initially reached out to Travis, don't kill me for this, but Hash and Cash, what was it? Was
Hash
no.
Cash.
What was
Hold on.
What was Boss Man and Dion? They had a group.
Northeast Kings.
Northeast Kings.
Yeah.
But they wasn't Northeast Kings yet
at the time.
They was a name before that, like a
Gotcha.
Hash and Cash or something like that.
Got you.
Kid wanted them to be in, because Kid was smart.
Right.
Kid knew that him and Hot really didn't have enough to make it happen.
Right.
He always wanted some help.
Right.
They reached out to Boss Man and a guy named Dion at the time to join them. And Boss Man and them was like, I ain't fucking with y'all niggas. Y'all can't rap without. They turned it down. So that's why they reached out to my homeboy Mouse. And then later on now we in the situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Boss Man and the guy Dion, Hash and Cash, Northeast Kings, they got the invite first.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That helps me understand the connection between them two.
Between Kid and Boss Man. Right. They've been knowing each other forever before I even knew them.
And even Boss Man and Cisco, because they just recently did a song together. I was just like, where did that come from?
Yeah, that was all during the backstory of it.
Got you. So I'm be honest with you, I feel like it's a better fit with y'all.
Yeah.
With them versus the Boss Man situation.
Yeah.
Different. Different personalities. I feel like Boss Man would have been way more overbearing than than you.
And that's probably why he turned it down. Like, yo, I can't fuck with these niggas. But I was like, shit, I'm trying to get on the popping. Fuck this shit. You know what I mean?
It's smooth move.
Yeah, so what happened was they invited us all four to do the group. So Cisco put up this money. We went down to some studio down in DC. I forgot, Horizon, I think. And recorded this big, long, big like 8 to 10 song demo. Cisco paid for everything. So we did the demo, and I never forget this. This is in my book. This was a pivotal moment in my career. So Kid and Hot like to joke a lot. They joke about anything, your mother, your baby mother, anything. They real playful kids, you know what I'm saying? Me and Butch was a little bit more serious. It was a little older than them. So one day I was working for the cable company. Had my little TCI cable uniform on. I was at my mother's house, right? So I get the beat, like, because they took the CD. Because remember, Kid and Hot was, like, again, Cisco, man. We didn't have access to Cisco like that. Even though we were doing that demo with him, we couldn't just get on the phone with him. It was They was his men, you know what I'm saying? So Kid paged me or whatever, so I called him back, and he was like, yo, Cisco heard the CD. He like everybody on that motherfucker except you. And I was like, because they play a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Yo was like, yo, I ain't lying. I'm telling you the truth. So I hear Hot in the background laughing. Because them niggas, yo, they laugh at anything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, you serious? He was like, yo, the nigga don't fuck with you at all. He told us if y'all want to keep that nigga in the group, like who is that nigga with the deep voice? Cut him. If y'all want to keep him, y'all go find y'all a deal with somebody else. Because at the time, I think Kid has a connection with like Maya's father. Maya's father was doing some man. He said, y'all can go get a deal with Maya's father. But if y'all want to roll with me, cut that nigga and we on a plane tomorrow to go to LA.
Yo. That's big gigantic kahunas right now, yo. That's crazy. If you want to roll with me, you can go down there with Lil Maya, but if you want to roll with the big dog,
cut that nigga and
this nigga off at the knees.
And so, yo, I'm sitting in my mother's kitchen. I never forget it, right? So I hear Hot and Kid, giggling. They're trying to hold in their laugh. So I'm like, I still don't believe him. Like, yo, he said, yo, I'm gonna give him the phone. This is the first time I ever spoke to Cisco on the phone in my life. And he got on the phone and he was like, yo. And he tried to smooth it out. You know what I mean? He was like, yo, I just think, yo, you'll be better off by yourself. You kind of remind me like a East Coast type Snoop type nigga. You know what I mean? Yo, just go ahead and keep doing your thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's not really a fit. It's not really a good fit, yo. And Cisco was real short. You only gonna get a few words out of him and then he hanging up the phone. He not even saying, all right, bye. He just, all right, boom. And then the phone just ends. So that was it. You know what I'm saying? So
that's some weird shit.
Yeah, so the niggas got back on the phone, right? So they's like, yo, so what you want us to do? So what the fuck I'm gonna say? You know what I mean? Like, what I'm gonna say, like, yo, don't do it. I'm like, yo, same way we told Mouse, like, yo, go ahead and do it and just look out for me on the back end. Now my heart is broken, right? So they hang up. I hear him laughing. They hang up the phone. So lo and behold, Butch was with him, my man Butch from Shock Trauma and all that. He called me right back, real nigga, like, yo, if you don't want me to do it, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do it, yo. So I was like, yo, I can't tell you to stop. This is what we've been trying to get. I said, yo, go ahead and do it and just holler at me on the back end. I hung up the phone and cried like a baby.
I'd have been crying too, yo.
Yo, I'm talking about I hit my knee. My knee hit the floor and I cried. Tears. So got myself together. Now I gotta go home. I got a new baby on my oldest son. You know what I mean? I'm with his mother. Now listen how embarrassing this is. Now everybody know I'm working with Cisco, you working with the guy that's singing Drew Hill? Now, all of a sudden, all of them gone to L.A. I'm home. So now I got my baby mother, my mother, aunts, cousins. Yo, why you home and they in L.A.? So I'm lying. I'm telling you straight up, I'm lying. Yo, he want me to go solo. Yo, he gonna come back and get me. He said I'm gonna be the East Coast Snoop. I gotta say something. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. You can't just be like, yo, them niggas cut me, my G.
Right. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm lying because I'm hurt. I'm crying. Yo, I cried that one time, and I'm just hurt, crushed. And they put a dagger in it even harder. Once they got to L.A., they gone. Now they on tour. Drew Hill doing his big booty tour. Them niggas on tour with him. My homeboy Butch with him, right? He called me one day and was like, yo, you wouldn't believe what these niggas did, yo. I said, what? He said, yo, he put another nigga. Because my whole thing was, I'm going to do some shit that make him want to put me back in the group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. But then he went and found another nigga and put another nigga in a group. Some nigga from Atlanta named Fame. And I'm going to tell you the crazy part about the nigga named Fame. The nigga named Fame was on fire. This nigga was dope. I mean, this nigga could rap and produce. He was signed to Nokia as a producer and Cisco as a rapper.
Wow.
He was insane with it. So when I heard that nigga rap, I was like, God damn, that nigga is nice. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But that crushed me because that just sealed the deal. Like, I have no hopes of getting back in this group at all. But I talk about it on this little thing I put on YouTube because you never, like, God, sometimes when you can't see the way, just hold tight because God will move things for you and open because that door looked completely closed, sealed, shut. It is finalized. This is done.
Right.
I just thought it was over. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
But God was moving stuff in the background. I didn't even know what was going on. What happened was, long story, but I'm gonna keep it
go
short.
Ahead, brother. Do your thing. You got me. You got my full attention. I'm like, yo, where are we going from here?
Right. So what happened was, like I told you, Fame was signed to Nokia as a producer because all of Drew Hill had productions deals. Def Jam just caked them up like you get one, you get one, you get one. So Nokia had some artists, Cisco had artists.
Because I remember Jazz was supposed to do a solo album,
all that,
and Woody was supposed to do, or Woody was supposed to go a gospel album at one point.
He actually did a gospel album. It was dope.
It was supposed to be on Def Jam.
Yeah,
but then he left because he left.
Yeah,
the group.
it never.
But I remember they were setting Jazz up to do some stuff, man, and they were advertising it in like the albums, CDs, and different stuff. So but continue.
Yeah. So what happened was, being as though he was signed both ways, Cisco and Note, they didn't really beef over it, but it was a little tension there because he was a producer with Note, a rapper with Cisco. So Cisco and them was doing a CD. All four of them were doing songs, and this is where I came in at. Like when I say I was really like a fuck boy, because what I truly believe in, out of sight, out of mind. So what happened was, whenever they came to Baltimore,
you was there.
I was there. So my baby mother gave me the blues. You dumb motherfucker! Why the fuck you hanging around with them? They cut you out the group. You just over there. I'm just sitting in that bitch, sitting there.
But that's what you're supposed to do,
right? And so what happened is, let's say Cisco or Kid got somebody flying in. Yo, cool. Throw me the keys. Go pick such a shorty up from the airport for me. Yo, go get the Duchess. Because they recording, they writing. I'm the only one that's kind of free. So I fell into the fuckboy status.
Right.
And it hurt my ego, my soul, my pride, all that shit. But I said, I need to be around, because out of sight, out of mind. Them niggas will forget about you in a heartbeat. That's just how the industry is. If you're not in somebody's presence, you can lose an opportunity.
Because there's always somebody else that could come around and fill that slot just as
in
fast
a quick
easy.
second.
Right.
And so what happened was, it was a conflict with Fame, with that whole producing and rapping thing.
Right.
And they in some kind of way, they made Fame choose, like, yo, which one you want to do? You either going to be a rapper or you're going to be a producer. And Fame said, fuck that rap shit, because there's way more money in producing.
Facts.
And so he chose to be a producer, and he went with Note. So what happened was, once he left the group, it left the original three again that cut me when I was on my mother kitchen floor. It was Kid, Hot, my homeboy Butch. But Cisco was so upset about it, he was just like, you know what? Fuck all that shit. He cut Butch out the group, sent Butch home. I'm just going to keep my two that I originally started with. And that's why when you look at the video Got to Get It, you see Kid and Hot in that video.
Right.
With the black suits on. What you go, baby? Now, at that time, me and Butch, he sent Butch home, Butch salty. Ready to, I mean, I ain't gonna mention what was on Butch mind at that time.
I'm quite sure he
was, you know what I'm saying?
He was disgruntled.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But me and Butch working at Credit Trust, up security. With suits and ties on,
You had slacks, all types of gigs, bro.
What I mean? Slacks, the tie on, and we watching these niggas on Got to Get It. And we coached and made that. We groomed all of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna hold fast. We're gonna hold out and see where this go at. So, that's when Cisco did his solo album, and songs Got to Get In. And before once Thong Song came out, the whole world changed. Right. You know what I'm saying? The whole world changed. And when Thong Song came out, we weren't still Kid and Hot was his mans. You know what I'm saying? They was doing Soul Trains, Apollos. They was just all over the place. But them niggas was assholes because, well, they still my mans. I love them to death. You know what I mean? But they didn't appreciate it because they really didn't have to work for it, just like anybody.
Right. It was handed to them.
It was handed to them. So they would do shit like Cisco would ask him like, yo, I got a show, blah, blah, blah. And if they ain't feel like going, they wouldn't go. That's just how they got down. And they used to leave them high and dry a lot. But if that was me or Butch, we would have damn near, yo, you ain't got to pay our way.
Right.
Where you at? We going to get there. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a different type of grind trying to get there.
You wanted it. They were blessed with it.
Exactly. It was just handed to them. So, but anyways, long story even shorter. Cisco blowing up, the whole Thong Song is going out of this world. And Kid and Hot, they were actually signed, and Butch was signed to Def Jam too. But Def Jam dropped them when it was just them two because it's like, yo, I don't think they can make an album.
Right.
I don't think they can make an album. So Def Jam dropped them. So they wanted to they wanted to kind of get it back going again. So once again, now me and Butch helping these niggas again. And what happened was, well, let me back that up just a little bit. When they left me and I was by myself, this is why I said that being cut in that kitchen changed me. I said to myself, from now on, nobody's off limits. Even my man Butch. I said, yo, I'm gonna outwork everybody while they sleep. I'm gonna be writing. Whenever they come in town, I'm gonna be ready, because every time Cisco came in town, he had a radio in his kitchen. He would always play little instrumentals, and niggas are standing in the middle in his living room and just go for it. You know what I'm saying? I said, the next time that shit happen, I'm burning everything down in there. I don't care who rapping in that bitch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that drove me, like that turned like a key inside of me, and that's I actually I left. I'll never forget. I was living out Liberty Road and Orford, in those apartments behind Northeast. That hospital, Northwest. There's some apartments back there. One day Butch called me, was like, "Yo, we in New York. Come up in New York and watch this Drew Hill show." I went to the Drew Hill show and I caught the bus up there and saw that show, and I saw Cisco flying around in the sky singing "Beauty," because he was always extra. You know what I'm saying? So he was doing all that crazy shit and flipping and all that shit. I was like, "Yo, I am too close not to get this." I came home from that from that show, and quit my job.
Wow.
And
you was super serious.
Yeah, it was just too close for me not to have it.
I'm right there with you.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I quit my job and I wrote the song, one of the big songs I got on that album that you had me sign. I wrote the song called Always, about my son. I wrote that and I wrote a few other songs. I just wrote. I actually got evicted out my house, all my furniture sitting on the street. It was just crazy. But that was the results of me quitting my job, because I was like, yo, I have to be on point when these niggas come back.
Right.
And when them niggas came back, I used to cook them in that kitchen. Cook them. And what happened was, Cisco girlfriend at the time, her name was Nikki. Shout out to Nikki. She was like, Cisco always listened to women, because he figured, women drive the market.
That's a fact.
And so, she used to hear me rap, and she was like, he the one right there. You need to pay attention to him. And that immediately woke Cisco up like, what? And he started paying a little bit more. He still ain't want to fuck with me too much, but that kind of turned him to like, what's up with that? Let me start to pay a little bit more attention to that dude. Cool. So now fast forward to after they got to get it stuff going on. Kid and Hot wanted to get in another situation. So me and Butch helping them niggas again.
Because they wanted another check.
They wanted another check. Right.
Yeah, the money started running out.
Exactly. They wanted another
and
check.
they ain't hot no more.
Yeah.
And Def Jam ain't answering the phone.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, can you help us out again?
Yeah, so we tag up with them again, and the whole situation come up again. Yo, let's try this 4-man group one more time. So I'm thinking to myself, I just got cut a few years ago, the whole situation. I said, all right, cool. We do the demo again. And then we give it to Cisco. And my heart damn near about to jump out of my fucking chest. Because who can take going through that shit twice?
Yeah. I don't know how it would
now
feel.
It's even worse because Thong Song is out and he is on Super Fire.
Right. He's a megastar at this point.
You know what I'm saying? So just imagine Drake right now for everybody that's going,
exactly.
Right now. So
and what's making it worse is, unless is he giving you like a per diem or something like that to survive?
Oh,
or you
no.
still... Oh my God! So you still scraping to survive and then killing it in the studio?
When we recorded that last demo, with all four of us, me and Butch still was working. Like them two, of course, wasn't working. Cisco put them in a condo and all that shit. They was living the life. But me and Butch would leave the studio, go to work, and we at this time we was working in some warehouse. It was crazy. We worked everywhere, but we was working in the warehouse, and me and Butch used to take turns. Like it was a little hallway. He would go in the hallway and take like an hour or two nap, then wake up and then come out. And then I go in and take an hour or two nap and come out because it was no time to sleep and do the demo.
Because when you get off work, you head into the studio,
right? And
then vice versa.
Yeah, because they wanted that shit quick. It wasn't taking no months to do no song. You had to do them songs right then and there. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, what happened was, I keep saying long story short, but what happened was we gave the demo to Cisco and he loved it. And that's what started the train. And then from that day, I quit my motherfucking job again because of what happened was Cisco would give us money. Well, not give us, loan us money. You know what I'm saying? So once they was like, he liked the demo and he liked the idea of the group, I was like, well, shit, I get to get what them two niggas get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Can I get my condo now?
Right. Yeah, that's how I was thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I ain't your man's like that, but I should be a little even. So I test the water. So I called his team, his legal, his management team, and I shot the dice and asked for, X amount of dollars. And this shit, they sent, back then, it wasn't no wires and all that kind of shit. Right. They FedExed me a check the next day. I got that check. I quit. And then, you know what I'm saying? Then, they flew me out to LA, and then the rest was The rest was history.
That's
started popping from
crazy. That's crazy. So like, in this moment, after you spent so many years, you know, dealing with so many different things. I mean, was it another break down and cry? Did you fall down on your knees with a check? Yeah,
Well,
did you frame that motherfucker? Like,
what happened was,
did you go back to your baby mother and say, "See, motherfucker, see, I told you, nigga, I told you."
That's what you know what? I really didn't have to do that because what happened was, okay, so when we went to L.A., Cisco was they was about to do a third Drew Hill album, but something happened. They wasn't doing it. So Cisco started working on his second album, the album after Thong Song, which is the album that I am on.
Right.
So,
oh shit, I got a copy of that one too in the trunk.
Yeah.
I'm not digging that out.
But what happened was, you know, we over there and we're working on our demo or whatever because we had a whole lot of labels wanting to sign us. And it was strictly off of Cisco because of how hot he was. Right. You know what I'm saying? So anything he threw at any label, people was ready to bite off of. Right. So we were just doing our music, we was over there living a life. We lived in this big ass mansion in Mulholland Drive, whatever, and it was just crazy. It was just insane. Cars everywhere, Bentleys, and it was stupid, right? So we over there and we recording our album. So I never forget Cisco had the song "Can I Live." It was supposed to be his first single. Teddy Riley was already rapping on it, right? So I ain't thinking nothing of it. One day, we came to Cisco's house and Cisco was like, "Yo, I got a surprise for you," and I'm like, "What?" And so he was like, "Yo, they want you to be on Can I Live?" So I didn't know where this shit came from because remind you, Teddy Riley, he produced it and he was already rapping on it. The song was finished.
Right.
So I'm like, they want me on Can I Live? Well, shit, thank you. Of course, I'll take it, but I didn't know where it came from. What happened was the backstory of it's always a backstory to everything.
That's a fact.
Right. Well, me, Butch, and Make It Hot, we did a song called Off the Corner. That's on Cisco's album as well. At the time, it wasn't on his album. So we did the song here in Baltimore, and Cisco agreed to sing on it in L.A. When he laid this verse on L.A. and it made the album, Kid felt a little salty about it because he wasn't on the song. Now, what happened, only reason why he wasn't on the song was because at the time, when we were writing it, he was out partying. He was at the clubs. You know what I mean? He was like, "Yo, we about to do this song." He was like, "I'm out. I'm going to fuck with these bros." You know what I mean? So he left. So he missed the song. So fast forward, a few months later, now we're in L.A. and the song about to make the album. He felt like, "Yo, I ain't even on the joint." So rumor has it, because I don't know if it's true or not. I wasn't there. Rumor has it that he went to Cisco like, "Yo, I'm not even on the song that for the group that's on the album. Yo, you gotta get me rapping on the album somewhere. Why don't you get me on the Can I Live song?" And rumor has it again, because I don't know, allegedly, whatever, how they said. Cisco went to Def Jam and was like, "Yo, I want Kid to rap on Can I Live?" And Def Jam was like, "Fuck no, we ain't putting. No, he not good. He not good enough." And they was like, "Let me hear your group, and we'll decide who gets on Can I Live."
Right.
And so he played the song Off the Corner, and they said Def Jam listened to him and was like, "Yo, he can be on Off the Corner." And it was just so happened to be me. And so that's what I mean by how God can just move things all around. I went from maybe a year and a half before
being the one that nobody wanted,
right, on that floor crying. You know what I mean? The grown man crying to now, and I didn't even ask to be on the song. And parts were just moving around for me. And then all of a sudden, now they want me to be on Can I Live? So I wrote my rap. Teddy Riley flew in town. I recorded Can I Live? And that was that. Now, the thing is, what I don't know if people know it or not, like when you do a song with somebody that's kind of popping, you never know if they're going to keep your verse.
That's true.
Another person on there.
That's true.
You have no idea how this is going to turn out.
Right.
They give you your money, and thank God Teddy Riley, shout out to Teddy Riley, he let me keep my publisher. Yeah, he let me keep my publisher. Yeah. Let me keep my publisher, and I got broke off a nice chunk of change for doing it.
God bless.
So, because they could have easily did me a work for hire and said, "Boy, go away, nobody don't know you."
Pretty much.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
because that's the way the game is.
Right. Exactly. So he allowed me to.
They call it earning your stripes.
Right. He allowed me to eat off of it, and so we did the song, and it was time to shoot the video. We was in Miami shooting the video, and I didn't know I was on a song until we was in a club maybe a night before the video, and the song came on in the club. And, it's coming and coming and coming. So I'm like, am I going to hear Teddy Riley verse or am I going to hear my verse? I don't know who verse I'm going to hear.
Right.
And then when the breakdown came and I heard my verse, I was like, thank God I made it. You know what I'm saying? But at that point, I thought my life was about to be, my whole life was about to change. You know what I'm saying? This is coming after Thong Song. He's on 20 right now. You know what I'm saying?
He's on a different level, bro.
And I'm on the first single.
Right.
With the publisher.
Right. With the second solo album.
Right. So
that album didn't do as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what happened was we were supposed to sign Priority Records, but something happened and we wound up signing with RCA Records. And
what year is this? Do you remember?
This is 2001.
What is Priority in 2001? I'm trying to think. Who were their moving parts?
I have no idea.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I think No Limit was still there, but No Limit was falling apart at that point. But I think Snoop had made that transition,
probably,
and he was over there at that time, so they were probably dealing with a whole lot of changes for real.
But you know what's crazy? We would have wanted to go with Priority more than RCA because we figured Priority knew hip hop. Because when we were told,
sure,
because when we just knew we was going with Priority, and then at the last minute. Cisco's manager came and said, "Hey, y'all going with RCA?" We was like, "RCA? They don't even got no hip hop. What
was it? The check bigger or something?"
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. You know what I'm saying? It was all about the money. You know what I'm saying?
Stay chasing.
Only
thing
they had Tyrese, they had SWV, and that was the only two people I kind of knew.
R&B niggas.
R&B, no hip hop, none at all.
That's
and
sad.
so we signed with RCA. We signed a $2 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
Now contingencies with that. You know what I'm saying? The $2 million deal for the it was $1 million set to the side for the video because Cisco had to be in the first video for us, right?
Okay.
So
sense.
Def Jam said, if y'all gonna use our artists in this big video, y'all gonna have to at least spend $1 million. So and RCA
record label games is crazy.
And RCA agreed to it.
Yeah, we gonna cripple your budget, nigga. You gotta spend $1 million on this.
You have to spend $1 million on this video because we have $1 million artist.
Right.
You're gonna have to spend $1 million on that first video.
I mean, it's respectable to make sense, but it's Patty McGetty at the same time. Like, come on, bro. It's a small group, nigga. Like, and you're using literally half of what you're investing in them for one music video when y'all could have probably shot 3 off of that joint.
Yeah. It was crazy, man.
Continue.
And
That's
so,
the fuck shit.
That leave us with $1 million to do whatever we got doing out in.
Right.
And after, you got your budget for your album, you pay your lawyer, you pay your manager. We had a nice little chunk.
It was more than $35,000.
Yeah.
It was more than a certified check for $5,000. And did you get a what do they call it? Did you get a Suzuki, or did you actually get a Benz out of it?
You know what's crazy? When I got, I'm gonna tell you how I knew Cisco was doing it big. Okay, so when we got the deal, we signed the contracts in Miami. It took forever for the checks to come. Mm-hmm. That's what people don't know. I mean, maybe it might be different now. This was 2001. No, yeah, right. I'm saying. So it took forever for them checks to come. So when the checks came, they FedExed them to my mother's house. Mm. So the whole group check plus Cisco's check came to my house, right?
Because you're the only one with a stable address, huh?
Yeah, probably so. You know what I'm saying? So when the checks came, we in there going nuts. Oh, like, yo, oh my God. So of course, I give High this check, give Butch his check. Kid was in LA. He was always one step ahead of us all the time. He's another story, but he was always one step ahead of us all the time, right? So he in LA somewhere doing some shit. Who knows what he doing? So we gave his check to his mother, but I had Cisco check. And this is how I know Cisco was crazy with it. So I had his check. So every night we went out of his house. So I went out of his house that night when I got the checks, and I had his check with me, right? So this is a 6-figure check. Now I ain't gonna say how high or high low,
but it was high.
It was a 6-figure, nice check, nice one. You know what I'm saying? So I goes and he was in the kitchen. We was talking, that, but whatever. I'm talking to him. I was like, yo, the checks came. He's like, all right, cool. I gave it to him. This nigga threw the check in his junk drawer. Don't you know that little drawer in your kitchen where you got the pens and the screwdrivers and tacks and all that shit?
Right.
He took that motherfucker and put it in his junk drawer. Mm. I said, you know what? This nigga he ain't even look at it. Mm. I'm sure he looked at it eventually, but at that moment, he didn't even look at it, but like.
It was jewelry money.
Boom.
It was just.
I said, but goddamn. this nigga must be getting it for real. But
You know he had a big ass dragon chain.
yeah.
Did y'all all get dragon chains?
Yeah, we all got that shit. Yeah, all that shit. Yeah.
I've been burning to ask that question.
Yeah, we
Did you get your no limit chain, your dragon chain?
That was your initiation. My baby mother, she pawned it when we got in a fight. She took it from me. It was crazy.
That's petty, McGetty.
That was crazy, man. But
So all right, y'all go through the deal. Obviously, certain things go good, certain things go bad. When do we get into the solo album?
Okay. So what happened was we got dropped, and we got dropped on 9/11. Well, 9/11 caused us, kind of sort of caused us.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
The whole world changes at 9/11.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like nobody knew what the future was going to be. You know what I'm saying? So people were hedging their bets, and companies were trying to like hemorrhage from losing money.
Yes, you hit it right on the head.
Right.
So what happened was RCA, once 9/11 hit, RCA dropped their whole black division, and they took Tyrese and SW Vehicle, so they was big stars,
right,
and moved them to Jive, I think, because everybody was under BMG or whatever.
Right.
But
right,
yeah,
because everybody's people were getting shifted from Aries to the Jive at a certain point. I think it was around that time period.
People was moving around. They was moving parts.
Right, because LaFace goes under. L.A. Reid goes to where the fuck did L.A. Reid go? L.A. Reid goes somewhere. Babyface goes somewhere. Everybody goes from LaFace and gets pushed to Jive.
Yeah.
Because Usher's over there, and then Usher. I heard that there was a thing going on between Usher's people and R. Kelly about attention.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some other shit. So anyway, I'm sorry.
No, you're
making a point. I'm just like, wow, all of this stuff is happening at the same time, and you just got caught right in the midst of it. We just got caught
right in the midst of it because we had drama with the group. Because Kid was going back and forth. But I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. I got when I was on the road with Cisco doing Can I Live, the very first show I did ever with him was was Top of the Pops in London, and that was like a big show over there. Did that, and then came back to the United States, and then the first show was the BET Awards, first BET Awards. So that was my first show in the United States with Cisco. So after that, we just going all over the place. But one day, Cisco's manager came to me and was like, yo, listen to the wording of this. They want you to go solo, but if you do it, you're going to have bad karma. So I was like, they want me to go solo.
But if you do it, you'll have bad karma.
Right. So now, but then listen to the word.
You have an opportunity to do something, but it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life.
Right. So
why are you even fucking telling me this?
Yeah. So I was like, so now remind you, when he said I'm already signed to RCA.
Right.
And so I'm thinking he's talking about RCA.
Right.
Because I'm signed to them. And plus when we were doing certain little things, the A&Rs and the representatives from RCA, they would always throw me little rocks. Like a couple of songs we would do as the because the name of our group was called the Associates, all four of us. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes the one of the representatives would be like, I say something like such and such, I went first on that song, and one of them would be like, yeah, you need to go first on all the songs. And so they was throwing me little hints here and there, but I wasn't feeding too much into it because I knew I just did Can I Live? I'm on Can I Live? So I knew what that brought.
Right.
It brought that kind of attention. I didn't think I was better than my, the other people in that group. I just knew it came with it. Yeah.
You were being humble.
It was coming with the territory. So I didn't think too much of it. But then when he told me they want you to go solo, I'm thinking because of them little murmurs, that's what they talking about. So I played around with the idea for a little bit, and I actually was about to do it right before we got dropped. And so I said, you know what? Me and my cousin, Big Flood, we met up with Butch and Make It Hot out Cisco house, Kid again in the win. And so I was like, I'm going to tell these niggas I'm going to go in and do the solo deal. And so when I got out the house, Butch was like, yo, I know what you about to say, yo, but please don't even do it, yo. Let's do just one album together, and after that, if you want to do the solo thing, you can woo. And I remembered when I was on that floor in that kitchen, crying like a baby, grown man, one nigga called me, and that was Butch. And was like, yo, if you don't want me to do it, I won't do it.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? Butch already got cut the first time. Remember when I told you when the whole the guy, the producer and the rapper and Cisco cut him? I'm not going to do that to him again. we can do an album together, and if I want to do solo later on, I can do a solo.
Hopefully the option will still be there.
Hopefully the option will still be there.
Yeah, because you're still young at this point, and you don't know nothing about the music industry. You don't understand that moments are the moment,
but
you don't know what comes after that. But continue.
But what happened was later on in life, I found out that offer wasn't from RCA. That offer was from Def Jam. And see, here's the games that record labels play. They don't talk to you directly. They talk to people and representatives of you. So,
well, they do that for a reason, because they don't want to be disrespectful, because it's considered to be highly disrespectful to approach you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's considered poaching. You know what I mean? To a certain extent. So, and if that's your representative, I'm gonna end up having to talk to this nigga anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's better to deal with that way. So, you know, like you said, it's a sensitive world.
I felt the way about it because what happened was one day Cisco was talking. You know, we all hanging around. This is years later. And he was like, yo, Cool, one of the realest niggas I know. Cool, one of the realest niggas I know. Def Jam came to him and offered him a solo deal when he didn't even take it. He said he held it down for his homies. And I said to myself, nigga, I ain't know it was Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought it was RCA.
Right.
Because it was Def Jam. I'm sorry. I would have had to move with that. You know what I mean? Because,
Facts.
Butch and everybody could have came along with me. Almost like, I ain't going to say Nelly and the St. Lunatics, but something in that
you would have made
ballpark.
sure niggas ate.
Exactly.
Opportunities is opportunities.
Right, but I didn't look at RCA like, yo, what can they do for me? You know, it was a different it was
a different vibe.
When Def Jam knocked on the door,
was the building at the time. Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I didn't know that. And that's why if you look at right now, when you look at Cisco's song Can I Live, you will not see featuring Cooli Hi. That's how strategic record labels are. Being as though I didn't take the solo deal with Def Jam.
They got extra petty.
Of course. So I'm not going to blow up no RCA artists. So they Love Her. I don't know if you remember the group.
I remember Love Her.
Yeah, they sung background on Can I Live. So being as though they sung background and I rap, Def Jam said, "Oh, it's the Dragon Family. It's all of y'all." Cisco featuring the Dragon Family. I never forget one time I was at a show. Right, I was at a show. And I was walking through the, I kind of came from backstage and, walking through the crowd a little bit. I don't know where I was going. And I heard a girl say, "Hey, are you the Dragon Family?" And I didn't know what she meant. Like, the Dragon Family? What the fuck you mean? I ain't no damn Dragon Family. But she knew that I rapped on a song.
Right.
And she knew the song was called Cisco featuring the Dragon Family.
Right.
And I was like, I wonder why the fuck she called me the Dragon Family.
Look at them damn credits.
Looking at them damn credits, but they didn't want to give me that feature because that feature alone, Cisco featuring Cooli Hi,
it was hot. He was super hot. Yeah.
That keeps my name going forever.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? But they didn't give me that because I ain't make that move. But you live and you learn.
So all right, so the group dismantles, and then you decide, yo, I'm gonna do it independent. Was this independent?
Yes, this was independent. So what happened was once that died off, my man Kid, he either wrote or he did something with the thong song, right? He did something with the thong song and he was compensated well. When he was compensated well with the thong song, me and him were just out in these Baltimore streets just cutting up, just kicking up dust everywhere. But once again, always trying to think ahead, I was like, yo, we out here, you just buying bottles in the clubs, buying BMW. You out this bitch wilding. I said, yo, why don't you just put this money in, the good use? Why don't you, let's start a record label. And so yo was like, all right. But he was always like that. But then when it's time to really move, he'd back off.
Right.
So I knew how to kind of get him going. I said, yo, I already got an album done because I was always recording. He didn't have too much music done. But he's not going to pour all his money into my album because, that's just not who he was at that time. You know what I'm saying? We were all a group, but it was still some sort of like...
And friction.
Friction. It was still... That's just how the industry moved. Everybody's kind of on some old vulture shit once in a while. And so in order for me to get him moving, I figured, throw him on the song with me. And so once I threw him on this song, we did me, him, and Miss Kitty did a song called "Hang Low."
This nigga said Miss Kitty.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Kitty, my nigga.
My homegirl for life. That's my girl. That's my girl. Yeah. So we did a song called "Hang Low," and he when he paid to get the vinyls pressed up. He paid, get a whole bunch of vinyls pressed up. I knew he was in for real because he started spending money. Once he spent the dollar, he was in, and that's how it started. So we started a label called the Hollaback Entertainment. Me, him, and we had all these like Hollaback pretty girls. All these girls kind of we knew from different situations or whatever. And we had a nice solid team, and my album was done. We pressed it up and we put it out, and it was on and popping from there.
Who did you get distribution for in the region?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
Because
I was thinking you might have went through Unruly because that was the people everybody kind of went through.
We didn't go through Unruly. We went through some company because I remember when me and Kid had our fallout, we had to fight for the money from that company.
Right.
I have no idea who we went through.
They might have. That was another distribution company in the area too. Some white people. I can't remember.
It was definitely some white people.
SMG or something. I
wonder if it's on the back of my album. I don't know.
It might be. I'll check it out.
Yeah. But I have no idea who we went through, but all I know is it was a hell of a run.
So while you were on this run through this whole time frame of meeting Cisco and his people, and then going through this whole process, were you networking a lot, or were you keeping to the collective? Like, what's the hustle like for you outside of being a dope penman? Was there any kind of like, I need to start collecting phone numbers? Was it, do I need to build my own team? Like, what was your mind frame?
Well, at that time, I didn't. I was naive to the business side of it. I was strictly an artist. Like, even when I was rolling with Cisco and we was doing all that Can I Live and touring all over, because we toured with the Backstreet Boys. I was on MTV TRL, BET Awards, CBS Morning Show. I mean, you name it, we was everywhere.
Right.
But at the time, I'm not thinking to politic. And see, like, for example, I remember when we was at the BET Awards, we had a rehearsal before the show, like maybe a day or so before. And so you come in, and here's how quick it is, because you're not really around these people a lot. Like, when we came in, Usher was like, I remember Usher was leaning up against like these steps, because he was going on his rehearsals right before us. And so he was leaning against these steps, but at the time him and Cisco had friction. So, you wouldn't go and try to
talk to him because it would be
it's
disrespectful.
You're trying to, everybody kind of stay in their camp, so you don't want to seem thirsty. Like, you supposed to be popping just like they popping. Like, why would I need to talk to you if I'm with the guy?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times, it was Destiny's Child. Beyonce, we was with her almost every night, but she wasn't Beyonce yet.
Right.
She was just in Destiny's Child.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beanie Siegel and Memphis Bleak, all them niggas was always around, but it was always in passing. We were never kind of like congregating together, like everybody in the same room drinking or eating some fruit or some shit like that. It was never that type of situation. You would always see niggas like, yo, what's up? Backstage, walking by, but you just kept it pushing. But yeah, so it's kind of hard because everybody was like, yo, you ain't think to ask such and such, like holler at this, holler at that person.
And I think that you saying that brings something to my mind, because it's like, I've always wondered why it seems like it's harder for Cisco to maintain his space in the game. But being from Baltimore, you don't have those cordial relationships with the media like a New York nigga would.
Right.
You born and raised in New York. If Angie Martinez or even Nori and these other people, these niggas because y'all be around. Y'all in the same clubs. Y'all hanging in the same little backdoor gatherings.
Right.
But if you a Baltimore nigga, first of all, you're not going to be aware about a lot of the backdoor gatherings.
At all.
And you don't get a chance or an opportunity to develop the relationships because you're not hanging around. They're moving you around.
Yeah.
You move in, you do your interview, you out. You don't get a chance to just hang out and, well, what you about to do now? Well, let me come kick it with you and waste time and develop relationships. So, like, I can see how it would be harder for him to, now that you've cooled off, but you're still a legend.
Right.
People don't have that relationship with you.
Right.
To be like, yo, come on, bro. Like, nah, niggas need to respect you as a legend. Like, people will say it in passing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I remember he kind of jumped into a Drink Champs episode one time, and I don't mean to make this about him, but I just wanted to make this notice about even you. When you were moving around, you weren't able to make the connections.
You can't. It's not enough time.
And right, you saying, because they're moving you in and you moving, and then now you got this unwritten rule of, well, stick with who you came with type of vibe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You look crazy, like, going to this person and go like, damn, your man's over here trying to get on. You know what I'm saying? It make you look stupid. You know what I'm saying? So you know, if that's what you came with, that's what you with. You know what I'm saying? So it was just crazy. And even, you know, again, I want to make it all about Cisco. Shout outs to Cisco, but you know, like you said, coming from Baltimore, nobody gave him nothing. Like, I don't know if y'all watched his the Drew Hill. I think it was like the unsung whatever. He did that whole album on his own. You know, when you signed to a record label, especially back then, they put you with people like, yo, work with Timberland, you're gonna work with this one, you work with that one. You look at all the credits, he did that shit on his own and sold it back to Def Jam. Right. So he had a chip on his shoulder, like, yo, y'all didn't even really want to fuck with me like that. You know what I mean? Even though I was on fire, they still ain't believe.
They still looked at it as a fluke situation. Like, oh,
they gave him Incomplete. Everything else he got on his own. Now, Incomplete is a smash, but that was the only record that they like here. Right. We put you with Montel Jordan, whatever his name is, and you know, and they rock like that. But I say all that to say, the whole networking, I never really got an opportunity to kind of be around. Like, I was around a lot of people, but it was in passing. It was never really in a situation like we just kicking it like how me and you kicking it right now. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So when you move out of that space and then you're independent and you're putting the records in stores, all right, what's the adjustment? And are you thinking that the game should come to me now because I was with Cisco? Is that your emotion, or are you like, yo, let me shift my gears and you know, try to develop the skills to be independent? Like, what's your mind frame?
Back then, my mind frame was I just want to be the best artist. My whole thing was I was on the artist.
Oh man!
And see,
you were doomed.
Right? Oh. Exactly. Because you know, you live and you learn. Because I figured we all had a lane.
Right, of course.
Like, my lane was to make this dope music.
I agree.
Kid lane was to do all that, because Kid had keys to rooms. To this day, I don't know how he got them damn keys.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was doing some more other shit. He always, like I said, was always one step ahead of us, knowing this person, knowing that person. He was always moving. And what's crazy is when me and Kid finally had our fallout and we went our separate ways, I realized that's what taught me, like, you know what? It don't have nothing to do with the music. It has nothing to do with the music. It has everything to do with what he got. What I got is come a dime a dozen. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a fact.
What I got comes a dime a dozen. A hot album, whatever, you know, a quote-unquote hot album, allegedly hot album, come a dime a dozen. But what he got that's what was special. And I didn't have what he had. And so I figured, you know what? You know, we had a little fallout. 92Q banned me from the radio station. Yeesh. You know what I'm saying? But it was because of him. Right. Shout out the Kid, you know what I mean? But it was because of him, because he got into a beef with, I think he was beefing with Nikki. I think she was the program director there. I don't know what his Kid was just all over the place. But they put up signs, do not play no Cooli Hi music in the station.
But you're not Kid.
But we was all together.
With each other.
We was all under the Hollaback Entertainment Company, you know. And so I was the face of it, you know what I'm saying? Right. So, but once we split, I'm figuring, fuck yo, I got my hood niggas, I got the streets, I got the music. I'm good. What I need yo for? Little did I know, if I didn't need him, I needed somebody like him.
Right.
And that was the difference.
And then wait. So when he left you, that's when East Kings became a thing?
Well, when we split, maybe a year later, that's when he tagged up with Boss Man and brought out Land of the O.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. And that shit was hot.
Son of a bitch. Now that makes even more sense now. Right. Because I be wondering how I've known forever, but until I really started doing these interviews to understand, like you said, you need a person like Kid. You need somebody that's going to open the door for you. And as much as niggas do these interviews and say, man, we grinded hard,
that
and then somebody noticed us, and then now we got to get played on the radio. No, somebody had to be the one to say, yo, fuck with that nigga. Yeah. Period. And that niggas go, all right, we gonna fuck with that nigga.
This what niggas gotta always realize. Like I was telling you before the interview started. When I initially hooked up with Cisco and, you know, and that whole journey started, it wasn't that I was nicer than no other nigga in Baltimore. I just got an opportunity to link with somebody that was on. That was it. That was the only difference. You know what I mean? It could have been I don't want to name nobody, but it could have been anybody. Right. That, you know, that was, you know, quote unquote good enough to, you know, hold his own on the mic. that could have got that spot, but I was blessed, fortunate enough.
You had that relationship with Mouse,
right?
Mouse
his
brought
little
you
cousin,
in.
his cousin sung, sound like Jodeci, and it started building from there.
Right.
Like because, like think about you and your podcast. No new nigga can just come in here and just be a part of it. The only way somebody can come is if somebody brings them in.
That's a fact.
That's the only way.
That's a fact.
And even if somebody bring him in, you still gonna look at him sideways for a while until you come around to let him in.
Until you tell me or show me something really spectacular to make me go, yo, I really fuck with that nigga. I'm going to be like, get this nigga out of here.
Nobody can hit you on Instagram or your DMs like, yo, I want to be a part of you. Can I come over and just sit down? And that shit ain't happening.
People still do it all of the time. And,
you know what I'm saying? And that's just how the industry and just how things move.
Right.
It's all association.
Well, I mean, and that's a fact. And I feel like people don't understand that it'll be like, oh, I just started rapping. I got my first song. You should interview me. And I'm like, but my platform has to have a certain amount of validity to it.
Right.
So if people know that, like people know the type of interviews I do, so they tune in. So if they see Cooli Hi and they go, who the hell is that? They gonna be like, JB interviewing nothing but these type of people. So like, let me at least check and see who that is.
Right.
And then you get to discover, oh shit.
Yeah.
But if I get to putting any random person on there and they be like, oh, who the hell is this? This Cooli Hi? It's probably probably some nigga that just came from the corner.
Keep it pushing.
You know what I'm saying? And they not gonna pay attention. But like, yo, it's all about validity. I gotta have a certain amount of respect with my shit.
Right.
And I try to explain that to people, but there's too many people that come to you that you don't have time to explain it to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just the name of the game.
Right.
If I let anybody in, Cisco ain't gonna let me come to his house because they're gonna be like, oh, you fucking with everybody, nigga. Like that shit don't mean. There's just a certain level of people. We only have a certain amount of time, 24 hours in a day.
Right.
Who is gonna get us what we need?
That's
even you. Like when you turned up the heat, you put more value into your creative process so that you could become what was necessary for people to go, yo, we fuck with that nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You blew ahead of everybody else. I think that's once again part of the little story. The story of greatness, nigga. You know what I mean? Even the component of being, and I love the fact that you were open enough to admit, all right, man, I should have focused on this, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And then the results are what they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So after you released the project, does it do the numbers that you expected? Did it do did you have like a goal and did it hit that goal?
No, it did not. We never really got it off the ground.
Okay.
Because what's crazy is the single that we had on the radio was a song called Trust. Mm-hmm. And what's funny is the Trust wasn't even, man, we was wilding. Trust wasn't even an original song. It was a mixtape song. It was somebody else beat. I don't know who beat it was.
Right.
We just did it, took it as a 2-track, and me and Kid rapped on it. Cisco heard it, liked it. He sung on it, and then Lil Mo heard it, and she sung on it. So we had Lil Mo, Cisco, me and Kid rapping on there. But it wasn't even our beat. So when it was time for me to press my album up,
you couldn't put the song on the album because you didn't have the rights to the track.
Right. Now, I could have went hard.
You could have.
I could have went hard, you know what I'm saying? But so the Kid was like, yo, you want to put it on there? And I was like, being cocky. No, fuck that. My album can hold its own without the shit on there. But what happened was people was buying the album like, yo, where is that song Trust? Like, I ain't got that shit on there. You know what I'm saying? But it sold a lot. Like, we made some good money off the album.
About 10, 15, 20,000?
Yeah, something like that.
Gotcha.
But what happened was it never, being it started, a single off the actual album never came out. Because by the time it started bubbling and popping, that's when me and Kid had all fallout.
Right. And he already got you banned from the radio station.
Yeah, because I felt like Kid, I hate to talk about people when they not here because, I like to give everybody equal, because he had his story too. And it was like, I used to call Kid Blade. He'd tell you this if you could ever. I used to call him Blade. Remember Blade, Wesley Snipes? Mm-hmm. He was a vampire.
Correct.
But if he take that serum, he could be good.
Right.
And so I used to be like, yo, I got to give you a goddamn serum because I know you're a vampire. You know what I'm saying? So I had to keep pumping him with his serum to keep him sane. But I knew eventually who he was going to come out. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so I just had to keep hitting him with that serum as much as I could. And eventually the serum wore off. Because Kid wanted to be the guy. He wanted to be the guy. And he wasn't trying to keep holding being behind me. Right. And I think at the time, he was like, all right, we done gave this album. The album came out. We done did some numbers. All right, let's move on to my album. But I'm like, oh, yo, we ain't even released a single, 2 singles, 3 singles. I'm trying to get everything out of it that I can.
Right.
But he was on some, nah, we ain't doing that shit. It's time to move on to my album. And so what happened was our whole company split in half. Let's say if it was 20 of us. 10 of us went with him, 10 of us went with me. The whole company just split because he was ready to move. And I was like, yo, it's not time to move.
Right.
We got to finish what we started.
Right.
And he wasn't like that. So what he was doing, he was just sabotaging shit. He was cussing people out. And he was my mouthpiece.
Right.
All I was the music and the guy on stage. He was the one in the offices and doing this and doing that. So once he started chopping, and then him and Cisco had a big fallout about some issues, it was just, everything was just going down south. And so once I was like, yo, we got to go our separate ways.
Damn. So what did you do afterwards? So the album doesn't do well. Then you start seeing this nigga with the Northeast Kings. This whole thing happens.
Right.
So what does Cooli Hi decide to do?
Well, what I did was, I had that album. It happened. So a few years later, because I don't think it was actually soon. It took a few years before the Boss Man thing happened. Because first we didn't even know I didn't know who Boss Man was. So we used to call him I forgot his name.
Travis.
Yeah, but
Devon.
I think he had another name before that. I can't remember. But long story short, when it came out, it was no hate because the song was crazy. You know what I'm saying? The song was stupid. Shout out to Boss Man. But it was like, it made me realize, like, okay, because I don't care how hot, quote unquote hot I think I am. I'm always a realist when it comes to situations. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this music shit.
Right.
I mean, the music is cool because you need it because that's your base.
Right.
But everything else is on that side of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
This over here, it don't hold the same weight.
Right.
And I said to myself, I need to find somebody like him to make this shit happen. Because if I don't, I'm gonna just keep spinning my wheels. I don't want to be that guy that's keep going to the back for the studio. Where you at? I'm in the studio tonight. I'm in the studio, make this 89th mixtape. Nah.
Are y'all listening to this?
I can't do that.
You need somebody to connect dots, bro.
Right. Because if not, now I don't know how it is now because you got this whole internet thing. I really don't understand. It might be the same.
It don't matter. You still need somebody. Like, I can sit down and show people 20 plugs in Baltimore. But like you said, you still can't get in the room without somebody to bring you in the room.
Right.
You can know Sean Caesar. You can go to his Instagram page. That nigga ain't gonna answer your DMs.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if you got this nigga phone, I got Kevin Lau's phone number.
Right.
He gave me his phone number.
Right.
Doesn't answer the phone for me.
Of course not.
Of course. But I've been next to my man, that's his man.
Right.
I'll call him first. No answer. He call him.
Pick right up.
Right up.
That's
like,
just how
it's
it is.
different.
Right.
Like, it's the same. I've got a relationship with Sean Caesar.
Right.
I can call that nigga. I can get a meeting. I can sit down. We can do business.
Right.
Other people, not the same.
Yeah.
So, like, dot connectors. And I've had this argument 1,000 times with people. They be like, yo, what's Baltimore missing? I said, we missing niggas to connect dots.
Right.
Niggas to make the plays behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for our people in Baltimore to respect the niggas that connect the dots, bro.
Right.
Like, what you describing, Kid, is a person that he gonna put the plays together.
Oh, he was a mastermind at it. I mean, I never seen it. Nobody's ever done it better than him. I mean, he really knew how to do that shit. Now.
The only flaw he had is dot connectors cannot think that I'm gonna be the guy. No,
right.
The best dot connectors recognize I'm not the guy.
Right.
But I can connect to make the guy. I'm the kingmaker.
And that was his downfall.
Yeah, you can't
because Kid really could have had this whole city on smash because he was in those rooms. I mean, he was in those rooms, and I've seen him in those rooms, and he had people looking up to him that were in those rooms.
That's
because he had that thing, whatever that thing is. He had it. You know what I'm saying?
Factor, right?
Yeah,
and the ability to connect with people immediately,
right?
Make everybody feel comfortable, make them laugh,
right.
Get their attention, and then he probably knew the right things to say to make the people in the room want to fuck with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, you need him because da-da-da-da-da. And they go, oh, yeah. Like, all right, cool. Well, we'll make it happen. All right, cool. Right. Now, where the check at?
He was good at that. But what I realized, coming out of that album, I did another album after that, Crown Victoria, the sequel. But this is all me on my hood shit putting albums out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not going nowhere.
Right.
I'm being honest with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not going nowhere, just I think I sent them off to my distributor, and now they on cdbaby.com and all that kind of stuff. But as time went on, what I did was I got out of hip hop for a moment. I went back almost to my root, even before the whole Run DMC thing, and I started writing R&B songs. I wrote R&B and pop, so I started being a writer. And I had a homeboy, Jamal. Shout out to Jamal. He hooked me up with this guy out in BMI. Long story short, I started I got my name buzzing real heavy off of songwriting. Dwayne Cooli Hi Jones is songwriter. So I'm all in New York, Atlanta, the whole hip hop thing was gone for since maybe, I want to say 2005, 2006, all the way up to maybe 2010. When did I meet my wife? I met her in 8, maybe 2010, 11. I was all songwriting. Like right now, I got over 100 songs. Like I have an EP out right now with just all R&B songs.
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
That's great because you don't look like an R&B singer.
Right. I can't sing.
You look like a retired nigga.
Right.
You don't look like no R&B nigga.
I don't sing, but what I do is I write the songs. My man Scola sings a lot of my songs for me. Sola was in
Shout out to Scola.
Shout out to Scola. The guy J Rome. J Rome is doing big things right now. He actually won a show called The Duets back in maybe 2009, 2010. It was on ABC. It was like one of those Dancing with the Stars type show. He won the whole joint.
Right.
And right now he sings with backup for Beyonce, and he sings in Kanye West's choir.
The Sunday morning service.
Right.
Sunday service.
Right. And so, yeah.
That's super deep. Oh yeah, I was actually about to check the camera, but I was checking to see. As long as that red light is on, I know I'm getting that audio. Hold on, let me check the camera real quick.
All right.
And then you gonna tell me about the newest phase of where we at now, because I want to get to the book.
Yeah.
Oh, we good.
All right. Because I know we've been going.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why I get camcorders instead of those fucking other joints.
Gotcha.
Because them joints, as long as you got memory, and I always make sure to have about 30 gigs available.
Yeah.
All of my podcasts is 2-3 hours a piece.
All right.
So I'm sorry. So getting back into it, you write R&B. Now, obviously, you getting your publishing checks.
Right.
Living a decent life.
Yeah.
So as a grown man and you looking back, what makes you decide to start writing?
What made me start writing was, what's crazy? This is exactly what I had to think about that. That's crazy. But what made me start writing was when my homeboy Jamal, he hooked me up with a meeting. This guy up at BMI for writing song, like almost ghost writing, because I was like, this hip hop thing ain't got it. I don't have the money to fund all this stuff. This was kind of like before the internet was buzzing, so you had to really get out there, get CDs pressed up and all that. I'm like, well, I can't be doing all this shit, but just by myself, because by this time the whole Holla Back, our little team dwindled off, everybody living their lives. I can't do it, so I need to do something that's cost effective, but it still can possibly turn into some revenue. So he hooked me up with this meeting, and I went in there to shop my songs, my hip hop songs. But a lot of my hip hop songs, because though I got that R&B and gospel background, I will write all these melodic hooks and have girls singing and lovers singing and whatever, Drew Hill singing the hooks or whatever. And so the guy was listening to the songs, the hip hop songs. He was like, "Yo, who wrote these hooks?" And I was like, "I wrote them." He was like, "You ever think about writing a whole R&B song?" Me on the hustle tip, no, but I'll try that shit. You know what I mean? Like, give me, I
haven't, but I can.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And so he said, I want you to try to write an entire song. And I was saying to myself, I used to do it when I was a kid, but I'll try that shit again. And so he gave me some tracks, and I took them shits home and started writing like whole. And what people don't, well, I guess maybe rappers wouldn't know this. An R&B song is way easier to write than a hip hop song, because as long as you
R&B verse is 8 bars,
exactly,
between 8 and 12 bars, and there's only 2 of them, and then you got to do a bridge, which is 4 to 6 bars. Like,
and you done. Now, the only thing you gotta do is you gotta nail the harmonies and and everything as far as like the melodies and all that kind of stuff. You gotta come up with something witty with that. But if you can figure that out, it's almost just like writing a verse in R&B. I mean, in hip hop.
And if you find somebody that can really sing, that can do all of the harmonies and all of that, most of the time they're gonna take care of all of that other shit for you.
They're gonna take it to the moon, and that's what I started doing. And when I started writing the songs, it was like a breath of fresh air, because it was like I didn't have to worry about the whole hip hop pressing up CDs, pushing the CDs. All I had to do was write these songs and email them to these guys, and they would try to go out and find placements. Now I never got a placement, like a big placement. But I remember one thing Kid told me, like he was so behind his time. Even after we had, we had to fall out. He did the whole boss man thing. The whole boss man thing was over. We were still doing stuff together. And I remember one time I was like, he had this girlfriend, and she was like, work for this publishing company and whatever. And I was like, getting on him like, yo, your girl worked for a publishing company to get publishing deals. Why don't you help me out and get a placement? And he looked at me, he was like, yo, you crazy, yo. You are the placement. And I was like, I'll never forget that. He told me that in KP Studio. What's up, KB? Shout out to KP. He was like, yo, you are the placement. And I was like, damn, I never really think about that. So what I started doing is, once the R&B songs wasn't picking up, somebody ain't use them, I put them shits out my motherfucking self. You know what I'm saying? And now where I am in my life is that I come to the realization, it took me a long time to get here. And I just did a post about this on my Instagram page. And I was talking about it. I was like, just because you're good at something don't necessarily mean it has a time to you making money off of it. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people out here that's good at everything, but you don't necessarily have to turn this into money. If it brings money, that's fine.
Right.
But it don't necessarily, because it's people that make it, the Cisco's and the Drakes and the whoever was hot at one time and not hot at not whatever. They're needles in a haystack, because I can go to a church right down the street right now and find somebody that can sing the doors off the wall.
That's a fact.
But they might work at Walmart.
And then even if they have that, they can sing in the church. The music industry is a business, and it is the weirdest business you'll ever, like you said it right, yo. Like, you have to have a certain temperament to handle the insanity. And look, even with all the stuff that you encountered, you were still on the outskirts.
Still on the outskirts.
You were still on the outskirts the whole time.
And I got so much more, because of course it's a podcast. I can't really go into detail.
Of course.
But in my book, I go into all the details about all the nicks and crannies, about everything that was happening, about this, that, and the other, And so it's called Almost Famous. It'll be out in the beginning of the next year. But
bro, I'm gonna be the first one to pre-order, my nigga. Like, this story is a phenomenal story.
Thanks, man.
But I know there's more. I'm excited to, like, all right, I gotta get the details. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that's definitely lit. Like, your life, I honestly didn't know what to expect. To me, I was just a fan of the one CD, but I also heard about you through so many different situations. So it was just like, I want to hear this guy's story. There's got to be something crazy to this gentleman's story. You know what I'm saying? And bro, you just gave me you in top 5 right now. Like, you top 5 greatest sit downs I've had in the last 2 years, bro. Like,
thanks, man.
Yo, just the amount of ups and downs you went through and the perseverance to just go through it. Right. To me, yo, that says a lot about you and your character. The ability to, because we both from Baltimore.
Right.
You know how niggas get. As soon as shit don't go the way, or niggas laughed at me on the phone.
Right.
Niggas laughed at me.
Right.
Fuck you niggas. You know what I mean? I'm going out there. The car full of niggas. We going out to his house.
Right.
We gonna shoot that bitch up.
All that.
You know what I mean? But to, take it as a challenge to, yo, let me get better. Like, let me find my way. Like, that's true intelligence. That's true perseverance. That's true character, strength of character. Yeah. To not be broken by it, not to be cut, and not to be like, I'm never going to do music again.
Right.
I literally just had a dog down, drag out argument with a family member yesterday. Didn't go through nothing anywhere close to that severe.
Right.
And has trauma over it, and is like screaming and hollering at me about shit that I'm like, bro, why is this even? But you can't tell nobody how to feel. Like, what they experience and their feelings, that's them. Right. So, but listening to those moments that I hear from other people, you know what I mean, that surround me, family members, loved ones, and then to meet somebody and be like, yo, that's what makes you special. Because I know so many people that couldn't handle what you handled. Right. And kept going.
Yeah.
Man.
Yo, man, like
It's
I
different.
said, I can tell you stories for days, but like I said, it's in the book. But
And they be sitting there helping another nigga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not even getting a check. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You going to work, y'all trading sleep moments so that you could go and help these two niggas because of the potential of an opportunity.
right.
Wasn't guaranteed.
Wasn't guaranteed.
It wasn't even mentioned.
Yep.
You were just like, if I stay here and I stay in my position long enough, something it could happen. And I'm going to utilize that. And like, yo, this...
Yeah, but like I tell you, when
you need to be teaching class, bro. Yo, a nigga will come and say they want to intern with me. Day one, yo, bro. You got to brick me up with some bread, yo. Like I need. Why you not gonna make me the nigga? You just said you wanted an intern.
Right.
You ain't learned one thing. You ain't even learned how to hook the equipment up. But I need my own show, yo, cause yo, you don't understand. I'm about to be lit.
Oh my God, yo, man, I was around for years.
Real shit, bro.
In the background, just in the background.
Shit.
And then when I finally got my shine, it was over. Tell me the irony in that. As soon as I get on and popping, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I made good money off of it. It only lasts for 1 year, as far as like the lights,
right?
But the life kept going. Like even to this day, I still record songs. I'm gonna record songs until probably the day I die. It's because I love it. I don't expect to get any money out of it. If I get money out of it, it's fine.
See, but the thing you don't understand is that as much as you don't feel like it, you could be a dot connector. Because you got connections. You just got to figure out how to connect the dots. That's all.
But you know what's crazy? I don't think I can do that. I'm going to be honest with you. And you know why I say that? Because the way they move is totally different from how
you move.
I
understand.
move, you know what I'm saying? And I truly believe that's what helped me back in a lot of situations as well. I believe that a lot of people may have wanted to deal with me, but was like, yo, I can't. They didn't know how to approach me because I'm not trying to get on that whole other world. You know, people be talking about Illuminati and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it's something different about them. And I'm going to say them, you know what I mean? Because they move and speak a certain language that the average person don't move and speak. And I never could get that. Even when I tried to kind of hang out with them and trying to like see what trying to figure that shit out, it's only a certain, they only let you get but so far before they cut that door off. And then there's certain people that can get a little higher, but you have no idea what they did or whatever to get high. All you know is that how you get in that room? And they in there. And before you know it, they move from room to room and room to room, and you still like right here. And for the life of me, I can't figure out. Now, I'm not trying to go, where everybody go at with it.
Right.
Because, you got the whole homosexuality thing out there. You got the whole Illuminati thing out there.
I think I agree with you in that respect. If I remove the ominous large organization part and just think of it from a human perspective, people bring in the people that they're comfortable with. Or people that live, like you said, yo, if I'm, because I'm not, but if I'm gay, I'm going to bring in somebody that I feel, you see things the way I see it, cool, I'm comfortable. And then we can share a secret together. All right, cool. And then we build our teams or whatever. So I can understand that. That makes more sense. I also look at it like people that understand my trauma, we have a connection. People that have traumas kind of, and I recognize that a lot of people that move in the music industry were people that they were like you, but they didn't come out of, so like you went through a tempering process. You went through a whole thing. Most people come out of it traumatized. Or they come out of it so kind of into a delusion that they're desperate, and they'll say, yo, I done been 3 years into this and now I'm right here at the door. I'll do anything, my nigga. Right. Because that's what you want. You want somebody to say, oh, all right, you ready? Cool. So you ready to give up this and give up that.
Right.
And as much as people keep saying, well, how the fuck y'all keep signing those stupid contracts? It's like, because I used to tell my homeboys this. I said, I one time was in a studio with Brian Michael Cox. And then we went from the studio to the club and then Usher's there and then Jermaine Dupri there.
Right.
And you don't pay for nothing. The liquor's free.
That shit'll blow your mind.
There's tons of weed. Right.
Yeah.
And everybody's looking at you. And I was there for one night. I will never forget that shit.
Right.
And the energy that you feel, and even being in the studio around true creatives, like great creatives.
Right.
To see the twins from Jagged Edge bouncing melodies off of each other and yo, lay this down real quick, and then watching them and seeing other people, it's like you want to be a part of that world.
Yeah.
Fuck everything else. Fuck what I'm doing. Yo, let me go back. Like, what you want me? Like you said, I carry this. I'll do that. Like, there are people that literally threw their lives away, bro. Like, I have a friend that died. Literally died. Yo, not sleeping, taking flights from Atlanta to Houston, like almost every week. You know what I'm saying? Chasing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, so yeah, of course, people going to take advantage of that. You know what I mean? And when you are, once again, if you're a dot connector and you find somebody that has a piece that you need to whatever, and you're willing to be amenable to the situation, cool. If you got too much honor and respect and boldness, I ain't got time to be trying to explain everything to you.
Right.
I ain't got time to deal with your honor, nigga. Do you want this or not? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like people take this Illuminati thing and it's like, yeah, there are organizations that are very much about maintaining power, but I mean, I feel like that's everybody.
You're right.
That's anybody that has power is they're going to have their millions of people that, yo, we've got to protect Jay-Z. Because as long as he's alive, yo, we all eat.
Exactly. Right.
If he out of here, ain't no more Rock Nation.
Right.
Ain't no more Rock Nation Sports. Ain't no more. So yes, his whole organization, everybody from the top down is about that. And you're only letting in people that are gonna help understand that, yo, this is what we here for.
Exactly.
Bro. And I feel like once again, the downfall of being a Baltimore nigga and Cisco is not having enough people around him to keep him where he needed to be.
Right.
Yo, this is a megastar. We got to keep him as a megastar. The team should have been all about, yo, see, and I mean, and sometimes it's top down because Cisco should have been like, these is my mans, but y'all have taken them from this to this. So look, I'm going to put y'all on payroll. Keep working with them niggas.
Right.
Put the albums out. Yo, let me do this. Let me do it. All right, so everybody I bring through the door, y'all writing for these niggas.
Right.
Oh, can you write? All right, let me see what else you can write.
Right.
Let's throw some R&B shit. You know what I mean? Like, let's build an infrastructure. You know what I mean? But if you don't know that, and the only thing you're doing, like you said, is you getting big money, well, you ain't worried about infrastructure and
and then
employees.
And then you gotta think about people's mind frames at the time, where they are at the time, because sometimes people just be on artistry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you just like when I was with Kid with the whole Crown Victoria album, I was on artistry. I wasn't thinking about no business, no nothing. You know, I was thinking about the money part, far as when it was coming in, and far as what I was gonna get off of it.
Right.
But I wasn't thinking about, I need to link up with Yo down a 95.5. He's a intern, but one day he might be the program director. Let me get his number, man. Let's go out for drinks with him, so get cool with him. So later on, if he come up, me and him are already good. I'm not thinking like that.
Right.
I'm thinking about, I need to get this track. What's this hook? I mean, let me see this witty line. I'm thinking on the artistry side. And a lot of times, that's just where artists are. Like, they're just in artist mode. And
I feel like that's the best place to be in because that's where you get your purest work.
Right. That's where you get your purest work. Because I say this all the time. Once artists found out about publishing, it kind of killed everything for R&B artists. I'm gonna tell you a perfect example. I'm not gonna use nobody's name, but you'll have a R&B group or R&B artist that come up with one album, the first album. It's on fire, but they don't get paid that much for it because they ain't write or produce nothing.
Right.
Once they figure that out, they like, oh fuck that shit. The next album, that sophomore album, they want to write and produce all of it, and all that shit be garbage. And nobody can never understand, like, why was this album like this and this album was like that? Is because that artist found out about that goddamn other side, and they want that money, and they'll go and write them damn songs instead of get somebody to write them for you and say, hey, I tell you what, if I use your song, can I get half of that publishing? And work that shit out, you know, and just, bargain.
Or you get half of your album is done by the pros, and then the other half you can do on your own.
Yours
right,
in.
you sprinkle yours in.
Right.
You gradually over time build your way in. You know what I'm saying? The same way Outkast did. They didn't do everything on the second album, but they did enough to color the album, and then Organized Noise did that. But anyway, we could talk about music all day.
Yeah.
Yo, is there anything that we missing that we need to cover?
I think we kind of covered it all.
Bro, you went through a lifetime, bro.
Yeah, I did. And there's a lot more, but I went from hip hop, I went to writing R&B, and now I kind of slacked up off the R&B right now. I got some I got music out on iTunes, all that. And I
Is this album? Is the first album?
Yeah, that's on there.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm not doing that shit no more.
Why you say that?
I'm not putting nothing on iTunes no more, no title. I'm trying to figure out a way because okay, I'm gonna give you an example. I got a EP out called The Glass House. It's all R&B songs.
Right.
I wrote all the songs and produced it. I didn't even know I was a producer until later on. Once I found out Puffy was a producer, I said I'm a producer too. Just because I didn't make the beat don't mean I didn't produce a song.
That's a fact.
Right. So I did this album. I put it on iTunes. People stream it. I get no money for that shit. fuck all that point. 2000002.
It takes time,
but
man.
if I sell that song for $1 myself, give me my goddamn $1.
But you can still sell it on iTunes and all that. You just gotta
Right.
tell people buy the album. Don't.
Nobody's gonna buy it. I'm not buying anything if I can listen to it for free. I'm gonna be honest.
It's not free. I still gotta. I pay for a service every
All
month.
right,
So
I pay the $9.99 a month too.
Right.
But see, my whole thing is this. I'm just being honest.
right.
I have music on iTunes, Spotify, all that shit.
Right.
I don't see money from that shit. It's the bare minimum. The money that I get is my money from Ken Ali. I get that for the rest of my life. Thank you, Teddy Riley. You know what I'm saying? So they don't play it in the United States that much, but if they play it all overseas, all over the world,
You get a
quarterly, I get the check.
Right.
So, but when it comes to all that Crown Victoria, the Glass House, I done put out little singles here. I got a song called Hire Me in School to put out. I done put out all these songs. People stream it a lot. I see it all the streams, but it don't add up to anything. And my whole thing is, how can I get, like, the next song that I put out, I need to figure out a way how I can maybe something on a link on my website.
Right.
You click this link, you send me $1, I'll send you the song, but I just didn't figure that part out yet.
I'm glad we sat down because I can help you out with that. So anyway,
Cool.
we'll leave that for off the mic.
Right.
Well, all right, cool. All right. So, and you said the book is coming out in January.
The book coming out in January, and I also just released a freestyle, just threw it out there. And again, that's when I was talking about everything is not about the money.
Right.
I just put a song out because it made my team feel good.
Word.
Everybody was scattered out. My cousin was going through a few little health issues. You know what I'm saying? I got everybody in the studio, did a real big song, and it made people feel good.
Word.
And that's the pay.
Word.
That's the pay because I'll never see $1 off of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's the reward from the song. And I think artists should really...
Get back to the love.
Yeah, because chances are I hate to sound bitter or crude, but the percentage is that you're not going to get rich off of this thing.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, when people say I'm all in, it's all enough, and there's no plan Bs. Nah. I get the grind and I get the attitude because I was there as well. But in the midst of all that, please don't forget to live. Don't forget to live. I know so many people that done gave their lives to the music industry. They don't have no kids. They ain't got no husband, no wives, no nothing. They're just on this road, and then before you know, you'll look up and you damn near almost 50, and life done passed you by, and you still chasing something that maybe God didn't give you that gift to make a monetary.
And now look, you
type of
at 50
situation
and
happen.
you trying to find stability. You trying to make sure you have normality, roof
Right.
over your head,
Exactly.
food in your belly, a bank account, you know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
Credit.
Anything, you know what I'm saying?
Telling you, credit is important, baby.
Right,
Can't
right.
buy no car without no credit. Can't buy no house without no credit, baby.
Yeah.
And the music industry is so counter to what the rest of the world is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the music industry will have you feeling like, yo, just keep waiting, because what'll happen is you can go a year, 2 years, and then a big check come.
Right.
6 months to a year, big check. Until you get to a certain space, like you said, till the checks keep coming like crazy. So like you'll be living this gig life. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you're not thinking about the long-term implications of how even if you got to step away from the music industry and reapproach real life, you ain't got no skills. When people ask me, well, why you ain't do this? Why you do that? And I was like, yo, I spent 20 years chasing the music industry. When you leave that, me making beats and writing songs is applicable to what company out here? Like, it's not. You know what I mean? And the skill sets that you develop, unless you try to re-enter the industry in some other capacity, you don't really have nothing.
I was fortunate enough that the time that I spent in college,
right,
and then my work history in between trying to get on,
right, saved you.
It saved me because once everything, because I almost hit. Well, actually, I did hit rock bottom. You know, I ain't even getting into all of that. I was damn near sleeping on my mother's couch, homeless,
Been there,
all that. You know, and
but you had the kids, I didn't. So
yeah. I moved to Atlanta, and I ain't gonna get. I know we get into the interview, but I moved to Atlanta. My kid's mother wouldn't let me see my kids. When I finally came home and said, you know what, I gotta chill, I went back into the work field. But I had all these years of no work experience because I was doing this music for so long.
And people be asking you in the interview,
right?
So what you been doing with this
all
whole
these years?
space,
you know what I'm saying?
And then you're like, well, you know,
right? Then the thing.
Do you take your Cisco CD with you? Well, you know.
See, that did kind of smooth things out because once all I gotta do is mention it, and people can go to the internet and see it. Like, oh, they could watch the video. Oh, wow, that's you. Oh my God, you know. So I get all that.
Right.
But I was fortunate enough to land a job. I won't say where because I'm still there now. But I landed a job, and I'm okay.
Right.
I'm okay. I'm
God
comfortable.
Bless.
Yeah, God bless, because a lot of people aren't. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And that's when I kind of figured out, like, you know what? I don't regret anything because it made me who I am. But in regards to the whole thing about tying music or any type of gift that you got, tying it into money, I believe in my heart of hearts, that's just the wrong way to go, because it can happen, but then again, it cannot happen. And if it doesn't happen, how do you handle that? Because you still got to live your life.
That's a fact.
You still got to live your life.
Is a
So
fact.
if you go through this whole life trying to have something, make something happen, and it don't happen, does that mean you failed? No. You didn't fail. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't just in your cards. Maybe your gift was there to give somebody some sort of blessing. Or perfect example, Meg Thee Stallion mother. She was a songwriter, all that kind of stuff. All her life, God bless her, did. You know, I think she passed away. Right. But look at Meg Thee Stallion.
Facts. And I tell people like this. I give people examples. I said all of the years, the time that I spent in the music side of the industry, I said really helped me become a better interviewer, because I can connect with artists on a deeper level, because I know about the 12 and 13-hour studio, you know what I mean, and the pressures of trying to create music in that headspace, you know what I mean? So it just made me better when it sat down on this side. And because I'm a true a fan of the music, I'm comfortable being a fan. I'm comfortable being like, yo, nigga, I fuck with your records. Oh my God. Like, oh, and then I'm thinking to myself, damn, what were you thinking when you made that? Like, I'm trying to put myself in the head of, yo, what was you smoking on? Was you drinking? Like, y'all niggas might have been drunk as a bitch. Or like, you know, even the backgrounds and the ad-libs and shit like that. Like, I already understand, like, the mentality. So, you know, sometimes you'll take a path because it'll inform your next journey. Exactly. You know, it prepares you for what you're dealing with now. You know what I mean? Right. So being, like you said, being in a weird music industry, I know how to carry artists when I meet them, and I know how to carry managers, and you know what I mean? I know how to try to be cool with everybody. All right, nigga, like, you know what I mean? To keep people comfortable or not make them feel weird, or you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So like, it's crazy because when I was an artist, I ain't know nobody. But as an interviewer, like, I'm cool with everybody. Every nigga I looked up to, we are like cool as fuck. Random conversations. Right. I mean, from Clayway, the Boss Man, people that I used to be like, yo, these them niggas. Now they all homies and shit. Like,
that's how it be, man.
Sometimes that's just life, yo.
You never know where that journey might take you. Look at Nori.
Bro.
Was that?
And when you talk about the transition, my nigga.
Right.
I would have never, ever in my entire life looked at Nori like, yo, he's going to do he's going to do a show and interview people. Right. You never would have seen that. Yeah. You know what I mean? But and then, he's going to be drunk as fuck doing interviews. But it just works. It's just such a natural
You never know where it might go.
You never know. That's why I say I don't know where you might end up running a record label at the while. You know, I'm saying you might be fighting it, but like I said, you might be the plug for real. Like you know what I mean. He might be the key to the resurrecting Cisco. You know what I mean. Not saying that he's in a bad space. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got you.
The last EP wasn't all that. You know what I mean.
Right,
but hey, I still love him.
Yeah.
So like you know, you never know, man.
Yeah, man.
I just look forward to this book.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
I'm definitely.
And I didn't hold anything back, and I hope I don't offend nobody, but it's my truth.
You gotta do what you gotta do, bro.
That's what it is.
You gotta have a launch party and the whole nine, bro.
Yeah. I gotta figure all that out.
There you go. And then like you gotta do your hair blonde like Cisco and the whole nine. I think that should be lit.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah, you too grown for that.
My homie, he can hold that down.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
All right, give me your social media.
Okay, my social media is official_Cooli Hi, COOLIHI.
Boom. And it's Instagram.
Instagram, official Cooli Hi. I think Facebook is Cooli Hydro, and then Twitter is Cooli Hi, COOLIHI.
And is there like a Cooli Hi website for like pre-orders or merch or anything like that?
Officialcoolihi.com is the website, and the book will be available January 21.
Okay, cool. All right. So, you know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, please, if y'all haven't taken the time to do so, in which some of you probably are already fans, so like, yo, enjoy the music on streaming because I didn't know it was on there, so I'm definitely about to go and rock some of this Crown Vic. You know what I'm saying? Definitely hit him up on social media. If you got any questions, hey, you know, if you're an R&B artist and you need them verses.
Yeah, I wrote for Paula Campbell one time. Shout out to Paula. Me and Aries did a song.
Y'all need to relink, my nigga. Y'all need to relink because I think she's working on some music. I don't know if she want me to say that out loud, but like, you know what I mean? Like she's definitely she's in a space where she needs dopeness, my nigga. And I feel like y'all could do some fly shit. You know what I mean? She's a beautiful queen, bro. So like, thank you once again, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
I so appreciate you giving me your time and allowing me to get so much of the story.
Yeah.
You know how niggas be when they got the book. I would tell you, but y'all got to buy the book.
Hey, you know, tomorrow I promise, man. Tomorrow I promise. Man, when you got it, you got to give it.
You gave me the jewels, bro, and I appreciate that, man.
No doubt.
And yo, thank you for your journey. Thank you for your contributions. You know what I mean? Like, yo, just not even just from. Well, first of all, for being a dope artist, that's gonna start from there. But then, like, yo, just being a human being, like, yo, West Side niggas, man. West Side Baltimore niggas, man. We the flyest niggas, man. I've been trying to tell y'all niggas. So make sure if y'all haven't done so, lock in with him, lock in with us, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We gonna check y'all next time. Aries Lounge, we out of here. Peace.